Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Swim or Sink 81. It is I, Mad Gamer II. I am joined by the one and only Nox.
Hello! And up first here we've got Tomato Mateys versus Pumpkin Trash Bin. And both of these, I believe, are from the same pickup, draft, scrim server, which is neat to see.
Indeed, we got some actually pretty similar name themes here. We got that vegetable fruit thing going on, so it's going to be an interesting matchup. But do you recognize any of the players on these two pickups?
I do. Snow used to be on Illumini, and I don't know which university they're playing for now, but I do know that they're currently playing for a university. I don't remember what team Deceased and Batson are, but I've seen them around in a ton of tournaments. I believe I've seen them play in a good few LSLs. And Dally, I don't remember what team they're on, but I'm pretty sure they're a Charger Splatling main.
Love to see it, love to see it. Now, these are pickups, so they could bring out any sort of weapons that we might be not expecting, but what do you expect to see today?
I would expect to see from Dally, like I said, Chargers, Splatlings, things like that. Batson, I believe I've seen play K52 quite a bit. Deceased, I don't know. Considering that Snow is also typically on a Slayer, I would expect Deceased to be on more of a support role. 2 is Radish, who I would expect to be on Junior or Blob, or maybe Explo if he's feeling it.
Fantastic. Well, I do know that there's a couple players who have mixing things up and trying out weapons to prepare for Splatoon 3. I know I saw a couple of blasters in the paddling pool earlier today.
Absolutely. I've been working on H3 and X-Flow to see if that helps out with Tri-Stringer. And we are opening up here on Piranha Pit Zones. We are seeing the Nautilus coming out, getting ready on that right side with that splash, just really trying to secure this area, prevent other people from being able to push them, and just really lock it down. And they managed to get 2 down.
Yes, 2 down, and it's going to be the first zone control on the side of Pumpkin Trash. And they are going to be doing an excellent job of locking this down. They already have another member of Tomato Mateys down, so they're going to be just holding on to this for a little bit longer. Specials are coming online. We'll have to see if Tomato Mateys are able to push back in.
Absolutely. They probably are going to rely really heavily on those missiles from the K-Shot and Bamboo. And the armor from the Junior is going to be helpful, but it seems like they're really after the displacement right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a bit of contention here. Some one-on-one fights going on. But it looks like Tomato Mateys are able to get some control of the zone, at least for a little while. We see the Inkjet and the rest of Pumpkin Trash coming in to just contest that and make sure it doesn't flip.
Tomato Mateys is just having a really hard time keeping the numbers advantage they need to really be able to move in here. As I say that, though, they do manage to finally get a 4v3 situation, and now it's back to a 3v3. As Deceased is just really doing a great job of holding down that right ramp with Snow, even Commentators curse.
Yeah, there's not much you can do against an armored Bamboo. They got the drop on you and a little bit of the range, but they are going to see the first zone flip of this match. Tomato Mateys now taking control, and let's see how long they're able to hold it on, because there are several specials on both teams online.
Absolutely, and we are about to see double missiles online for Tomato Mateys, as well as missiles coming out on the side of Pumpkin Trash Break. Tied with that Stingray will apply a ton of pressure, allowing them to take out 2 people right there, which should allow them to recap these zones pretty easily, as it's just the Junior and K-Shot around mid.
Yeah, that was an excellently used Stingray. Because of how flat Piranha Pit is, Stingray really shines on this map. And I think with the missiles, you can just really box people into places that they can't escape.
Absolutely. Stingray is so strong on this map, and we are seeing that hammer coming out from the brush. Not a special or weapon that we see a ton of right now, but really cool to see it coming out. Mini just trying to hold this right zone, maybe managing to get the pick on the Bamboo, not quite managing to get it. Bamboo just pushing back in, getting the Nautilus, getting a great 2 picks there, allowing their team to push back in. They only need a few more points to switch lead, really.
Yeah, this Bamboo is doing an excellent job of just locking down both zones, getting a lot of paint and the picks needed. With the missiles coming out now, they're just going to put a whole lot of suppressive fire and allow them to really chew through this penalty, and it looks like they're going to be able to get the lead off this.
It does seem like it. They did also manage to pick off that Nautilus, which was a crucial pick, because the Nautilus applies so much aggressive pressure for the side of Pumpkin and Trash Break, as otherwise they don't, obviously the splash can go in, but they're not going to apply as much pressure as the Nautilus, for example. Nautilus once again moving in here, pairing well with Snow on Pumpkin Trash Break. Sorry, my tongue's not working.
It's all good. Yeah, that Nautilus, other than the Jet Squelcher is really the only thing that can contest that bamboo just because of the range difference. And I think because of its extra mobility with that charge hold, I think it was able to take that bamboo in the last push there.
Absolutely, and we are seeing the Octobrush trying to move back in here as they're just trying to... They really just want to keep neutral at minimum here. They are able to... They do go one down, though, and they do give up the zone in the process. Missiles coming out again from the K-Shot, able to find a lot of people, but there's not a lot to follow up the missiles with, so they're kind of just there, not doing a ton.
And with a minute left, they really just want to stall out the zone as much as they can, trying to add a little bit of penalty so they can hold on to that lead for whatever remaining time they have. It is going to be a bit even now. All members of both teams are up, and the specials are getting used. We'll have to see if these two members are able to survive after this flank here.
The Stingray does go down. The Mini trying to win that fight, not quite able to, but the Nautilus does have Inkjet ready, and if they get some good picks, never mind. Splash is forced to jump out. As the missiles are ready from the K-Shot, Junior looks to be getting... Junior is pretty far from armor, though, so they could make a push in here. And Piranha Pit is absolutely a map that you can come back from in overtime.
Yeah, Tomato Mateys here doing an excellent job of just setting up, trying to make sure they don't drop uncontested, and just doing all they can to stall out the last 30 seconds of this match. We're pretty much down to the last few points, so if they can hold on to it, they might be able to get the knockout before time runs out.
Absolutely, and we are seeing this K-Shot painting up, managing to get a pick on this Mini. The K-Shot's really been doing a lot for the last little bit of this game, applying a ton of pressure, getting crucial picks, managing to get the Jet Squelcher there, and Snow going down to an unfortunate suction bomb. And that should be game to Tomato Mateys.
Yes, the K-Shot doing a lot of work, making sure they don't go anywhere near those zones, and look just how the amount of yellow that's on the map right now. Excellent job by Tomato Mateys to hold down this last of the match.
Absolutely, they did a great job just making sure to lock down those zones and really prevent anyone else from being able to get in. And Radish doing a great job supplying their team with his team with all those armors.
A lot of paint, a lot of armors, and a whole lot of bombs.
Absolutely, it's what juniors do best. Our next map is TC Inkblot Academy, which is always a fun one. It tends to favor... I think that it can both favor really long range and really aggressive weapons at the same time. Any thoughts?
I would have to agree with that. It's got a nice balance. It's got some key high ground that really allow the backlines, the longer range, to have some control, but at the same time it's got a whole lot of cover, and as you said, it just favors short range as well. I would also say for tower control specifically, there's a nice little step on the front of the plat that just allows for any sort of slayer or frontliner to get up into the plat where the backliners tend to hang out.
Absolutely, and it's definitely a map where a special like Inkjet can do really well, even though we don't see as much of it these days. This is one of the maps where I think, this and Ancho, I think double Inkjet can still be pretty viable.
Absolutely, and I think with the coming of Splatoon 3, we might see a little bit more of the Inkjet just as people prepare to just practice it and get their skills sharpened for it. Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. I'm very excited to see what the first SOS of Splatoon 3 looks like.
100% is going to be so hype.
It really will be. All the new weapons, all the new specials, all the new kits, and we don't even know if kits are going to be changed from the test fire and stuff yet, so much could still change.
That is true. That was not technically the official game, so they could drop some last-minute changes on us.
Absolutely. There were a few changes from the test fire to the main game of Splatoon 2 in terms of kits. I know that was the case for Vanilla Dualies, although I don't remember what the change was anymore. It's been about 5 years.
I do know that it was during the first Splatfest, the demo Splatfest, that they had the missile burst bomb for the dualies, so I think we might see a lot of similar stuff between this past Splatfest and the official launch, but who knows? We'll have to see.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited to see it. I'm hoping that Tri-Stringer manages to be as good as I think it has the potential to be, but I've been wrong many times before, I'll be wrong again. And we are seeing Surskit sub in here for Pumpkin Trash Break. As we go...
Interesting.
Absolutely. Surskit is a very strong player. It should change up the strength of their comp a bit, most likely. Surskit's most recent team, I believe, was Destiny Troops, which is always notable.
Yes, that is very noble indeed. Do you know what particular weapon sets they like to use?
Surskit is very much a flex player. Whatever they need, Surskit will play. I know right now he tends to favor a lot of blasters and carbon. But he's really a jack of all trades.
So we could be in for some pleasant surprises in these coming matches.
We absolutely could be. I'm pretty sure Snow will probably stay on that Neo Splash. I'm pretty confident that on this map mode, Radish will probably stay on that Junior. I would expect to see the K-Shot coming back out from Tomato Mateys too. Maybe the Bamboo, although they might switch over to a Jet or a longer range charger for this map, just depending on what they're feeling.
Yeah, I do know quite a few Charger players tend to go Bamboo specifically for Piranha Pit, interestingly enough. So because it is Tower Control and Ink Blot, we may see that swap to a longer range weapon, as you said.
It's very likely. I also, if Dally feels comfortable on Splatlings, I would not be surprised to see them pull out a heavy remix here, just because it can do so well on this map.
Oh, I would love that. But we are going to be getting into the beginning of this match, and we'll be seeing what these players have in store for us.
And we are seeing the Junior coming out from Surskit, and not a surprising pick from him necessarily. I've seen it before, but it's neat to see. Snow back on that Neo Splash, and we are seeing a K-Sheen coming out from Arwen, which is a big shift from last game.
Indeed, and they're running pretty much no backline whatsoever, even without a Bamboo. And so it's going to be interesting to see how they're able to combat the extra range of the Jet and the Nautilus. But as you said, this map does favor both the long and the short range evenly.
And we are in a 3v3 situation, one down on each side, both more aggressive roles. We are seeing the K-Sheen being forced to back off some from the Ray. Splash does go down on the side of Tomato Mateys as the K-Sheen is pushing up onto their plat with that splashdown at the ready.
Here we see that step infiltration that I was talking about earlier. I think the K-Machine is well equipped for that because it can get a lot of those ledge camps that a lot of rollers in other short range really favor. But they unfortunately do go down as well as the brush, so that is going to be the potentially end of that push if they're able to flush out the rest of those members.
It does seem like they'll be able to at least reclaim mid off of this for sure. Bomb Rush coming out here from Snow. The Junior goes down. It's just really the K-Shot left that could be around mid. And they're really moving in here, popping that armor, popping that Inkjet, and they are just trying to claim as much space as they can. Snow doing a great job watching this potential flank. That seems to have been called out. Pushing that K-Shot in mid as their teammate helps them finish off the kill.
Now it's going to be another 2 down for the side of Tomato Mateys here. So Pumpkin Trash have pretty much a free pass to the next checkpoint and a lot of space on the enemy plat as well.
Great bomb rush there coming out from Snow, although the Ultra Stamp will cancel out a handful of the bombs. But that bomb rush did apply a ton of pressure to that upper plat area. They probably want to try and get through this checkpoint here, but I don't think they'll quite be able to, as the brush is just really able to claim so much space on a map like this where there are so many vertical areas.
And we do see that Inkjet online for the Nautilus. I think they're going to be holding that on for a little bit longer. That is if they don't go down. That's going to be a 2-piece for the brush and pretty much cutting their forces in half as this K-Machine is going to be pushing up onto their plat.
K-Machine doing a good job there of poking at that Jet Squelcher and Junior. Jet Squelcher popping right here, just trying to get people to back off. Snow managing to pick off the K-Sheen there. Starting to move in towards this tower, taking advantage of the Ray, and that's 3 down on the side of Tomato Mateys. As Pumpkin Trash Break is able to should be able to reclaim mid off of this, as long as they don't go down to that brush sharking on left.
And with that, they were able to hold on to their lead, so their Tomato Mateys are going to have to do a little better for the next push coming around. As Pumpkin Trash does have about half their tower taken out, that is going to be that a little much more for Tomato Mateys in order to take the lead.
Good trade there on the brush by the Junior, as the Nautilus is pushing into mid here, able to survive that splashdown, but they are 10 missiled and forced to jump out. Although the Sea-Jet does have Ray ready, which means that they should be able to hold this defense for a bit while they wait for everybody to respawn.
Yes, the Ray and the Inkjet both online. That's going to be a lot of firepower bearing down on this tower should they continue to make this push. But it looks like once that player went down, they did back off just a little bit to try to stay alive and hold on to pain a little bit longer. The K-Machine here getting the pick on the Nautilus here, an excellent pick to be sure, and then it's going to be trying to push up once again onto that plat where they so love it.
Absolutely. And we are seeing a lot of bombs coming out there from Surskits Jr., applying a ton of pressure to this K-Sheen, as the K-Sheen just really wants up there. Hammer coming out from the brush, really able to push everyone out of that top area, just destroying any bombs thrown at them. One of Hammer's best uses, to be honest. And they are going to get lead.
Yes, the Stingray wasn't online, and with the Hammer just running around on their base, there wasn't a whole lot that their Jet was able to do, but now we do see the Ray coming out, trying to stall them out before they get to this third checkpoint. tower control, if they get going, it can easily snowball into a KO.
Yes, this map especially has that KO potential, and especially once you make it through that second checkpoint, you can just kind of keep barrel rolling forward. We are seeing the Inkjet coming out here from the Nautilus, able to get the K-Sheen, although the splash does go down. Not able to find another pick as the Junior heads back to the tower, looking to get a pick on Surskit's Junior, not quite finding it. Rush still on their plat though, and Surskit's gonna have a hard, not gonna be able to escape that one.
So we get into this last minute of the match. Tomato Mateys doing an excellent job of just keeping control of the enemy plat and putting on a whole lot of pressure. They haven't relinquished control of the tower in quite a bit, and as members of Pumpkin Trash go down, they are getting dangerously close to that KO.
Yeah, and we are seeing that Tomato Mateys is just really good at making sure that they play smart and play for the long game. They are not making, as I say that, 2 of them go down, but they're not making a ton of super impulsive decisions. We are seeing Pumpkin Trash Break finally being able to touch that tower again, trying to get back into mid, trying to break back in, although there are missiles at the ready. Though they don't have anything like a Booyah Bomb or Stingray that will instantly, more or less instantly, end the game.
When we see this K-Shot just holding on to those missiles, that's pretty much the second best thing you can have to a Stingray or Booyah Bomb, but they do go down, so that's going to be their missiles offline, and so it'll just be raw firepower coming down, but looks like that'll be enough as they do get the full wipe. Tomato Mateys taking this second game.
Yes, that is. Now I will remind everyone that SOS is play all 3 in this stage still. And so they will still play the third game, even though Tomato Mateys has won the set.
It is a point base, so although they did win the set as it is, though that extra point, if they're able to get it off Tomato Mateys, might come in handy later on down the road.
Never hurts to have extra points in SOS. Never know when that's going to make the difference between which bracket you're going to get.
And I'm always excited to see more matches of Splatoon.
Of course. Always better to have more than less. And next we are going on to Rainmaker's Starfish main stage. Definitely a map that can go very quickly.
There's a relatively short path between the middle and to the pedestal, but there's a bit of a gauntlet in order to get there. If the defending team is able to stay alive and keep the high ground, it's going to be rather difficult for any pushes to be had.
For sure. It's also definitely a map where people will shark and try and get little sneaky pushes in, though. There are so many nooks and crannies to hide in, even if the other team were to get the pop, that if they move on too quickly, it's very easy to sneak in and just casually dunk the Rainmaker.
Oh yeah, it really requires a lot of a good head count of all the enemy players, because, as you said, it's just that one member sharking can really stop a push.
I would expect to see the Ray coming back out from Dally here. Surskit might change up weapons. They might want to switch to something more aggressive, but we'll see. I think Radish will probably still be on that Junior. I don't think we're going to see the K-Sheen back for this map. It doesn't have quite as many ledges that K-Sheens like to play around. It still has plenty of ledges, but I don't see as many K-Sheens on this map typically.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. I am curious to see if they do end up bringing back some sort of backline, because we did see the Bamboo the first game, but they pretty much went full backline list for that tower control map.
I will say that Bamboo plays way more like a midline than any traditional backline or anchor position.
That is true. That is true.
And here we go into Starfish Rainmaker. We are seeing a sploosh coming out here from Snow and the blaster coming out from Surskit. So this is going to be a very fast-paced comp in comparison to what they have been running.
Yes, indeed. Doesn't look like... We do see the return of that K-Shot, surprisingly. Or that K-Machine, surprisingly.
Yeah, and unsurprisingly, Pop does go to the team with a sploosh. Not a huge shock there. Armor popped on the side of Tomato Mateys, able to get a pick with that splat bomb there, as 2 is just moving into mid here, cleaning up a ton of space, although they do have that Inkjet at the ready, which, well, as I say that. We are seeing the Ray coming out. Here. Yeah, that was, this is what I mean when I say Starfish can be a quick map. Definitely not a lot of hesitation to be had. We do still see that brush up. We see them trying to push everyone out of there. They're probably going to go for the reset here, as everything else is going to be a little risky, considering they could have all jumped into the brush.
Yes, we do see that brush trying to make some plays here. They still haven't found them out just yet. They're just sharking around here trying to get a couple of picks to keep them from out of mid, but the Inkjet gets it pop and hunts down that brush. Rainmaker's still in possession here. I am surprised they didn't try to reset it to mid.
Yeah, I am too. I was really expecting them to. This map, with how temperamental it can be, it is a bit of a shock, although they did take the safer path in from right. They are almost out of time now, though, because they did have to retreat and go through a Rainmaker free space to get there. And they are just holding forward, trying to get as many points on the board as they can. And that is essentially 3 down. There's one that just respawned on the side of Tomato Mateys, as they are trying to push in here. Just the junior left. And they might be able to make a big push out of this, too. Ray coming out here from the Siege. Surskit really moving up, able to find essentially 2. And it's just the Keishin up there. So if Surskit can manage to get the pick on them, that would be huge.
We see the Inkjet getting popped up, taking down almost
And that is
immediately.
game!
But that is just what they needed. The KO in favor of Pumpkin Trash, and so they are going to be taking this match.
Yes, so that is a game to Pumpkin Trash Break, which will help them a lot in later rounds in regards to trying to make a higher bracket later on. Surskit really managing to do a lot with that blaster there, applying a ton of pressure, getting very critical picks, and knowing how to play around the ledges of this map so well.
Yet despite the early stop to that push there, because they were able to get so many members down in the process, they were able to just pop in and keep on going.
Mm-hmm. It's always an effective strategy of, if we have the Rainmaker and keep running forward, they can't push the Rainmaker.
So true. I do believe that is going to be it for this set, so we're going to be going to a short break as we prepare for the next one, so don't go anywhere. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Swimmer Sync 89. It is I, Mad Gamer II, and once again I am joined by Nox.
Hello, and we are going in here to round 2 of SOS 81, starting on Clamblitz Mako Mart. Hi Mad, do you have any thoughts on this map?
It's a fun map. I don't usually get to play clams on it too often. So I do know that Blob is popular in a lot of ranked lobbies, but we'll have to see what these teams bring to the table.
I do believe that we will see Polizon on Brush here, although unsure as much about the rest of them. Usually I'm better at keeping track of everybody. Assist is probably, if I'm remembering who they are correctly, gonna be on some pretty accurate Slayer weapon. Probably not something with a lot of RNG. But like I said, a little less familiar with these players than the players of last round. Although Macxeira is definitely a team that's been around for a while now.
Now, I don't know for this for certain, but Captain Happy just gives me some Carbon vibes. Or Carbon or Brush.
Yeah, Carbon and Brush vibes for sure. Stan also kind of gives me Brush vibes, but I don't remember why. But especially on a map like Mako, I definitely don't expect, like, not that I expect to see dualies coming out in general, but especially not on Mako. Every dualie player I know does not like them on Mako.
Well, considering that it is Clan Blitz, I would not be surprised if we saw either a brush, carbon, or both on either of these comps.
Yeah. I definitely would not be surprised to see any ink brushes or octo brushes coming out in this map mode combo, especially with how much you can kind of just run around in it. It's a little less achievable. I'm relatively sure that both of these teams are solidly in mid-level, just based off the players' names I'm seeing. So a little less achievable to just run around. Not impossible. You never know when a flank's gonna work.
Indeed. I do know you mentioned there might be a couple of K-shots in this mix, and I would be pretty confident saying that as well. Yep, there's our first K-shot, and there's our second K-shot.
Is on E-Leader, just a little different from Brush.
I would say E-Leader is a pretty decent pick for this map. There's a couple of places where if you can get up, you just got a nice view of the whole map.
Absolutely, and like I said, we are seeing that Brush coming out from Peluzon. Not a huge shock there. Nice to see a foil squeezer coming out. Not that it's an uncommon pick, but I do think it's pretty fun. 52, Zap, K-Shot. You know, pretty standard picks.
And also not surprising, we are not but 10 seconds, 20 seconds in the match, and that Brush already has a power climb ready to go.
Brushes are so good at that. Junior going down on the side of Brand Stand Club. They're kind of being put on their back foot, even as the Zap on the other side goes down, but another of their members is forced to jump out. They're able to get that first power clam in, as the rest of Macxeira is going to be forced to just try and keep up with their Brush there, and not quite able to do it. Oh, never mind. They managed to get a few more clams in, as Assist is over here building up for that armor, getting ready to get those assists.
You know, at first there was only the squeezer or defending, but because of how close the spawn is, there wasn't too long before other members of Brand Stand were able to come back in and just close out that basket. But already, Macxeira is getting a power clam, but that's going to be 3 down on both sides, so basically a 1v1 between the Junior and the Brush, it looks like.
K-Gal, I believe. And that is generally a fight that the K-Gal can win, but the Junior is able to play around that block so well, taking advantage of the extra mobility they have over most weapons in the game, as Junior is so good at. They do go down to the Section Bomb, though, against that K-Shot. Although it is a 3v2 situation, as Captain Happy is starting to push up into mid here, looking to apply more pressure, but another of their teammates gets picked off, and they're forced to back up.
Yeah, the left stack there is usually pretty contested as a good ramp to that basket. A lot of defending teams like to set up there, but if you don't pay attention, you got some coming up that street, and then it could just be an easy flank right there. Speaking of flanks, the K-Gal, it's the K-Gal coming in, getting a couple of picks, including that E-Leader, and they're in a fight with the K-Shot there.
That is a full wipe onto Brand Stand Club, as the 52 manages to get everyone, I believe they got the quad, and they're starting to put more clams in. Booyah Bomb probably going to come out here soon to apply some more pressure to that upper area, preventing them from being able to push in and defend their basket more.
Yeah, that's just such a good position for the K-Gal to be in. With that wall and the Booyah Bomb, they can just
and that is another power in. All the way down to 24. As they do eventually manage to get everyone but the Zap out of there, but not before they get a couple more clams in.
This is a pretty decent lead. Down to 15-12, they're still putting in.
They just need 2 more. And they have 5 ready somewhere. They just need to get them into that basket, but it does not look like... And they managed to! And Macxeira just doing a great job there of showing that this map favors mobility so much.
With the players coming out of every other aisle, they are able to get the knockout right out of the nose of Brand Stand Club. Once you thought the push was over, they came back.
It just snuck right back in, where even we couldn't see him.
So it's going to be Maka taking that first match here.
Very impressive knockout there. And I believe that next we are going to Splat Zone's Humpback Pump Track, which in one of my worst takes is a map I enjoy. I'm aware that's not a good opinion, but I think it's funny to play Junior in the most chaotic way possible on it.
To me, it's certainly a good map for that. I would say it's one I had to warm up to it a bit. I wasn't quite sure how to operate on it starting out, but I think over time I figured out where's a good place to set up, and it can definitely be a pretty chaotic map mode, though.
Absolutely. A little less chaotic these days, generally. Generally, right now, people tend to stick with more missile spam, which is a strategy to play this map. I would also not be surprised to see Booyah spam come out here. That's definitely another strategy for back pump track. That used to be a big trend. It's not used as often anymore because we have switched over to primarily VJet. But it definitely used to be a thing where people would just run arrow sprays and K-52s and a heavy remix, and just because Booyahs can cap this zone.
And quite effectively too. But I agree, we're going to see a lot more paint output and maybe a little bit less of the one-on-ones per se. But we'll have to see, because we did see that brush in the last match. If they continue to stick with that, that could be some excellent flanking material with the circular nature of this map.
I do love that it's a circle. The brush, I definitely expect to see the brush come out again. I believe Polizon is an Octo Brush one trick. I could be wrong about that, but I don't believe I've ever seen them play anything else.
Well, that would contribute to the missile collection we're about to see.
It absolutely would. Although they could choose to play the Inkjet. You never know. I also do love to see Explo on this map, although I'm not expecting to see it from either team at all. Just to note, Explo's fun here. We are seeing a Keishin come out. That's fun. And an E-Leader from Macxeira this time. Switching which team has the anchor.
Interesting. I would not expect the E-Leader here. Like, certainly it can get some
E-Leader
nice
already
picks
getting a
as we
good
just see
pick
here.
on the Keishin.
But just the terrain of this map doesn't really lend itself to a lot of visibility unless you're right on top of the zone.
There's a good few windows that you can peek through like this one, especially if you're playing unscoped like Assist currently is. It allows you to apply a ton of pressure. We are seeing that Booyah Bomb come out, although the missiles do shred it, as Captain Happy here is trying to push into this zone. Well, not even push into the zone, just trying to get the E-Leader to back off, using that V-Jet, and doing what V-Jets do, and missiling.
If y'all ever wonder what would win between a Booyah and a missiles, I think the missiles won this time.
Sometimes the missiles get to win as a treat. We are seeing the Octobrush go down again. Charger trying to apply a lot of pressure, using their K-52's wall to their advantage. Cool to see that kind of teamwork. And we are seeing that Zap have armor ready, probably just waiting for their teammates to be more up. Although there are two down on the side of Brand Stand Club, as everyone's just kind of vying for mid in a very stalematey kind of match so far.
Yeah, with the two members down, it looks like the Jet was trying to push up and just maintain the control of the zone for a little bit longer, but they weren't able to get that lead by a point, so that's just going to put a little bit of a penalty on.
Armor out on the side of Brand Stand Fan Club, although they're not able to do a ton with it as two of them go down right as it gets popped. Even though the Zap on the side of Macxeira is down, they still have that Booyah Bomb at the ready, and they have that E-Leader just existing as a threat in mid, just really able to reach almost into their spawn from mid, as Humpback is a relatively small map and doing a great job of using those mines to keep zone capped.
Indeed, and we also see the beacons getting used here by that brush. Not only is that going to allow pretty good jump points, but just the recon ability of the mini-map because of those beacons is going to be very crucial, especially for a lot of the Slayer weapons that like to lurk in those alleys.
Great pick there from the E-Leader. Brush managing to get the other, and that is a full wipe with only like 20 seconds left to go in this game. If Macxeira manages to keep this hold, which it looks like they should be able to, they're just keeping so much pressure on, able to get that insane splashdown cancel. This is just going off here with the E-Leader. Not quite able to hold the zone, but they push all the way to 3.
That was such a clutch turnaround right at the end there, only 3 points away. Like I would have expected them to hold on, especially since they took out that splashdown, but someone snuck in and was able to paint the zone right under their nose.
Yes, although Assist was getting really great picks with the E-Leader there, showing that this map, there's an advantage to being more or less able to just hit them in their spawn.
Indeed, we see the Brush going to be going in for another flank here, just trying to draw some attention, but that's going to be a lot of purple paint coming out on that zone, and they are going to take it back for Brand Stand Club.
Assist being forced to jump out. Oh, well, maybe not jumping out, going down there instead. As the Keishin chooses to use their splashdown to break the wall. Keishin does seem to have gone down there. As the 52 gal is moving up into mid here, having that Booyah at the ready. Just really looking for a good opening to get some picks.
Indeed, they're going to be pulling back to contest the zone because it is chewing through a lot of points right now, but the Booyah Bomb gets cancelled, but not before they're able to flip the zone back in their favor.
By switching the focus over to the Booyah Bomb, they did lose control of that zone, which can be the goal of a special sometimes, is just to distract from the objective long enough to take it back.
Indeed, and they also go 3 down there, so that's just going to cement Macxeira's hold on the zone even further, especially now that we have a lot more yellow coming out.
And we are seeing Polizon on this rush, getting ready to have those missiles again. And they are doing a great job of making sure that there are these beacons in mid, that their K-Gal and their Zap and their E-Leader can keep jumping to, along with themselves, obviously. But it's really nice to just be able to have your teammates right back where you want them as quickly as possible.
Absolutely.
Captain Happy moving up into mid there with that V-Jet as two go down on the side of Macxeira. And they're about to be through, and Grandstand Fan Club is about to be through penalty, although Macxeira doesn't seem to love that idea and is trying to get back in pretty quickly.
Yeah, as they fight for zone right now, and two members, Macxeira, does go down here. Grandstand Club, 30 seconds left, and they are getting very close to taking that lead back.
Keishi managing to get some huge picks there, as Polizon is trying to rush into this zone alone, but not quite able to do anything with it, although it looks like they are being left alone trying to get this paint down. They do have missiles ready, but they go down in the process, and this looks like it'll be game to Grandstand Fan Club.
Such a huge turnaround, taking it out from basically the 3 points. Able to get, that is a whole lot of purple right there, holy moly.
Yeah, they definitely did a good job of turning that around, regaining map control, and taking advantage of their specials to move in. I will say that Macxeira did kind of rush their last few pushes in, which tends to make it a bit more challenging to make sure that you can get in as smoothly as you need to.
Yeah, they did seem to lose their composure just a little bit, and when you get into the last few seconds of the match, that can really make or break your game there. It is going to be a 1-1 now, so this last match will determine who takes the set.
Always love to see a game like this, especially on a map like Tower Control and Show. A very aggressive map, in my opinion. I would not be surprised to see the E-Leaders come back out while saying that, though, just because it's long enough and there's safe enough spots for it that E-Leader can be very, very useful here.
I would agree, and in fact, I would even say that we're going to be seeing a couple of Inkjets here, as there is quite a few excellent positions for the Inkjet to push in and really disrupt the defending team.
Definitely a great Inkjet map. You can just apply so much pressure. I've been on teams, and I remember back in the day, as I speak like a grandmother, I don't remember exactly which top team it was, but I think it was Ghost. Used to run double Inkjet on a few maps, and I believe this was one of them.
I would not be surprised. As we said, it is a fantastic Inkjet map.
Especially before Inkjet was, nerfed.
True. Very true.
Different times. There was a point where it was just all tri-sloshers.
Yes, I remember those days.
The week of gold arrow spray.
Oh, it seems like a lifetime ago.
Remember when Inkjet exhaust could kill? Consistently.
That was a thing? Wow.
Week 1 of the game.
Oh man, I would hate to be on the end of one of those.
It was not fun as somebody who was very much not even good at the game yet. It was unfortunate for me. And we are seeing similar comps coming out from both sides here. Jets coming out. We are seeing an Inkjet coming out from Macxeira here, which will be nice to see. You don't see L3Ds very often, and I always think they're cool.
Indeed, and if I remember correctly, that's the burst bomb nozzle, isn't it?
It is.
Yes, we're going to see
Has
some
a lot of great
combos
combo
with that.
potential.
Yes,
and they have that Inkjet ready already, and they are pushing it on this right side, just saying, "Hey, can you look at me? Look at me. Don't push my teammates. Look at me."
Knock knock. Anybody home? They unfortunately aren't able to get any picks off of that, but that was a good scout / distraction here. Although no one has touched the tower just yet, so it looks like they're going to be just a bit of a stalemate in the mid. Everyone just poking to see what the other team is going to be doing, just trying to stay alive and get paid.
Missiles coming out from the brush. Inkjet already almost ready again. It's L3D is a fast weapon at getting specials. Stingray out. Inkjet probably going to get popped here. Yep, moving in. Trying to help the brush out, not quite able to get there fast enough, but able to apply a ton of pressure with this Inkjet, trying to take out the Stingray. Not quite able to, but definitely applying a good bit of distraction to it, as they're trying to reclaim this mid area as the rest of their teammates have gone down. Although they're not quite able to find the picks, they're looking. Oh, I stand corrected. I thought they would lose that fight. That's on me. They managed to get both of them.
The Nozzle staying alive. That's going to be 3 down for the side of Grandstand. So now the Nozzle is going to have some free reign and some free territory into the enemy plant. And they're actually going to be taking that tower right up to this first checkpoint.
And we are seeing how strong Inkjet can be on this map, and the fact that you can just take such incredible heights and angles from it, from spots you wouldn't necessarily expect. They're doing a great job of holding down this right side here. That can be so crucial to preventing flanks in a mode like zones, and in this mode, just preventing them from, you know, having their base back. They can't have it. This L3 is just really going off, applying a ton of pressure, asking for some help here. Not quite able to get the help they needed, although the tower did manage to get all the way to 40 to the next checkpoint while that was happening, which shows the just distraction potential of an Inkjet. Brush still up here. Stingray coming out from the C-Jet as the K-Sheen's trying to throw some fizzies to help that K-Shot get in.
Yes, Brandstand now finally able to break out of spawn and try to put a hole to this tower push. There's just a lot of ground to be covered just from that one nozzle push right there. I think that was an excellently well done, but now Brandstand is going to be making the return and just getting into the enemy plat themselves.
Not quite able to get in there, though, as they get teamed up on by the L3 and Brush, although the L3 does go down, as does the C-Jet, leaving just the Brush, who is in a pretty good position, but they can't manage to do anything more than taking out the K-Sheen, which is very helpful. Zap managing to get another pick there, as they're just trying to move in through this Ray. Ray coming out from tower there. L3 trying to push in, but still getting ticked by the Ray, which makes it hard. And missiles coming out from the K-Shot.
Brandstand Club on the roll here, getting close to that second checkpoint as well, and looking to take this lead back, but as the Ray comes out, there's going to be a lot of pressure, causing Captain Happy to have to back up here. They're not done yet. 3 members down for Macxeira here, and so it looks like Brandstand Club is going to able to take this checkpoint and the lead.
And Ray coming back out from Captain Happy, showing what Jet Sculptures are so good at, of just getting that special as quickly as possible. And it seems like they're going to be able to get this checkpoint, I say, right as one goes down to a bomb. Gugalima pushing in here, using that zap to help the Brush out, managing to get a bunch down, and they could try and take this back. Gugalima getting into mid, getting some paint down, trying to clear some space for their teammates. He's going to trade with the Junior, though.
That's going to be 1 member down for both sides, but some paint was exchanged here, so it's going to pretty much drop back into a neutral state. The thing with this map is, like, whenever you get a push going, it tends to be relatively large. You don't see too many, like, just micro pushes when you comes down to this map.
No, you don't. It's definitely a map that favors big steamroll kinds of pushes. And we are seeing the Brush here managing to use those Tena missiles to apply pressure to get their teammates in and get themselves in. Ray coming out here from the Jet, but I believe the Brush is going to try and rush them down. K-Sheen popping that splashdown, managing to get everybody, and that is going to be the end of this push.
They were off to a good start, but with the 3 players down, Brandstand Club is going to be retaking this mid area and holding on to that lead just a little bit longer, especially as we get into the last 30 seconds.
K-Sheen watching this drop area, just making sure nobody's going to come through it, especially by painting it like that. You can just quickly pop open map and see if anybody's coming through that way. Splash down at the ready. K-Shot has missiles ready. Although they do manage to take out the K-Sheen. There is still that Ray at the ready, though, which they're going to need to be careful with. And it's just the K-Shot and C-Jet left up as they're trying to move in and really just reclaim space as much as they can into the other team's area.
With Missile and Ray online, yeah, they're both going to be popped here. Everyone on the tower is going to have to vacate pretty quickly on. But yeah, there's going to be 3 down for the side of Macxeira, and so Brandstand Club going to be taking this next match.
Really great games there from both sides, very back and forth. Very close, always fun to get to see a set like this.
Oh, for sure. And we are going to be seeing Brandstand Club coming out on top for this set as well. Macxeira, though, they were able to take that 1 game off, so that's going to be coming in handy later on. That was an interesting game there. We pretty much saw similar comps come out on both sides, with both teams running the E-Leader and the Jet one time or another.
Yeah, I am surprised that Assist did not bring back out that E-Leader in that last game. I thought that they were doing so well with it that they'd stick with it, but I guess they don't feel as comfortable with it on that map.
There are quite a few places that some of the shorter range, like especially when they have the K-Machine out, that can just be a bit of a nuisance for any backline.
True.
Well, that is going to be it for that set. We're going to be going to another short break as we prepare for this next one. Hello everyone, and welcome back. We are back from that short break. It is Swimmer Sync 81 once again, and it is I, Mad Gamer II, joined once again by Nox.
And up in this set, we've got Axolt versus Snickers. Axolt is a team that we've seen around for a long time. Always great to see them out in these weeklies. And we are going to open here on Rainmaker Manta Maria. Just a bit of a fast-paced map, just a little notorious for 30-second games.
Indeed, it is going to be several routes for them to take. They have the jump on the right, the up the wall on the left, and pretty much just down the street. Depending on how the fights go, we could be seeing any one of these pushes happen.
I'm always partial to seeing quick pops on this map and just seeing what you can get away with in the opening. It's not the strongest strategy all the time, but when it works, it's entertaining to say the least.
And best be clear if you're the enemy team when that happens. I can't tell you the amount of times I've seen one or two squids go down to just the Rainmaker pop.
Absolutely, and if one or two of you go down and the other two are on the wrong side, they will just take that jump and run straight to the podium. It's not a long way to go.
Not long at all. As we get into this match, we are going to be looking to see what kind of comps this team has out. I'm going to be thinking not a whole lot of backline except perhaps that Stingray Jet.
Yes,
No.
and we are. I believe that is the missile jet. No, you were right. It's the Stingray, but we are seeing the mist splash come out, which I love to see. That does deny jump very, very well. Just being able to put a mist there and say, "Hey, actually, you physically can't make this." Also interesting to see the missile zap. Not a weapon we see very often these days.
Yes, they're running the double zap orange and gray variants, as well as I think this is the vanilla Tri-Saucer. There's going to be double armor for the side of Axolt here.
As the Splash is trying to move in here, trying to find some space, not really able to find it yet, using that mist to just force people to respect them a little bit, though. Armor coming out, Inkjet at the ready. They could be able to make something out of this, but it looks like they're trying to hold it. One goes down, Squeezer down. That's a huge, huge pick, preventing those insta-pop bubbles. Also Zap and missiles coming out here from Axolt. They're just really trying to get in, but it is a 2v2 situation, and the Squeezer is back up, and Ray is at the ready as they jump out and get ready to use it.
Looking to make a quick stop to this push with that Ray here. They do take out one, possibly two with that Ray, leaving Snickers with the man advantage as they come back into the mid.
Ricky using the Splash here, trying to just get some pain up, using that mist to keep people away from them, trying to help out. And probably working on getting that Inkjet to clear out street to make it easier on their teammates. But it seems that Snickers has grabbed the Rainmaker and is trying to make a run for it.
One of the ends up to go down here. And the Jet on the bit far from the Rainmaker, but they're just going to be shutting down that street for the time being as the Rainmaker is set up on that right side. Stingray does come out trying to clear a path, but so far, Axolt is doing an excellent job of staying alive and just maintaining defense.
Zap does go down there in a trade with the Rainmaker, but that is a good trade. As Bubbles come out here from the Squeezer, not able to find anyone with him as the Try is pushing them back into mid. Although they do manage to get lead, it is not a significant lead for this map by any means.
Not at all.
Although there are two down on the side of Axolt.
Oh, this might be the push that they're looking for. Unfortunately, the Try on their Bunker does stall out that push with only the Squeezer remaining. They're going to have to back up here as Yellow is taking over.
Squeezer forced to back up as Axolt pops that armor. You can see just the amount of pressure Mist applies, forcing them to back off. Splash managing to get a huge pick there, as the Rainmaker is able to move quite a bit forward, all the way to 44 now. They want to get this drop, and they managed to. They managed to push all the way to 19. A huge, huge push. And now, especially with that V-Splash on their team with that Mist, they can really just, if they want to for the rest of the game, just deny space and play it safe. They don't need to by any means. They can keep trying for this push. It looks like they're going to keep going at it for a second. But not quite able to get back into that Rainmaker. Oh, they did manage to stall it a little bit longer. I stand corrected.
Sometimes offense is the best defense, especially when it comes to the Rainmaker. But as you said, because of the nature of this map, it is going to be relatively simple for them to just hold the line and just keep them at bay, playing a little bit of defense for the rest of this match. The only thing is, though, they'll have to be careful not to go too many members down, because that
We're seeing the Orange Sap over here trying to pull off a flank. Does go down in the process, but if they had pulled that off, it would have been a huge, huge flank.
That could have been an excellent opportunity here. Both teams, just kind of poking here. Orange, obviously in the lead, so they have the advantage. Purple is going to have to really make something of it, and that's going to be two members down with the ends up jumping out, so that's gonna just give them an opportunity to make some ground here.
And they don't quite manage to get lead off of that, although they are close. So Axolt is going to need to make sure they get this pop. It is just the squeezer up. They do have an advantage, and it seems that they are not resetting. Seems like they're taking it into that upper left area, which I am surprised to see. I did fully expect them to reset there. Tries up there with the Rainmaker. It looks like there are 2 in their bunk at the moment, as the squeezer is applying a lot of pressure up there, just trying to clear space, and they are just pushing it. They are not hesitating. They are moving it to the other side. They are like, hey, we could have just put it in mid, but we're moving this back to you. We're gonna just make this into a push. Who cares that we were just getting pushed? We're pushing now. Which is a strategy.
Once again, offense can be the best defense, but that is going to be the Rainmaker taking a dip.
Pretty good trade there from the Rainmaker. Gotta give him some credit on that.
While they weren't able to gain any more points off of that, that was a substantial delay there as we were in the last 30 seconds of this game, with members of Axolt respawning, getting ready to put up another defense.
Always important to be able to set up a really solid defense, especially in a map like this for overtime, or just the end of the game, because in Rainmaker, as everyone knows, it's never over, really, unless there's a KO.
Over. This K-Shot trying to get a flank going, that's going to be 2 members of Axolt down. K-Shot in position to really hold this street area, making away from the Rainmaker. If they're able to keep this up, they might be able to get the lead off of this.
They are trying to get into that drop area, but not quite able to, as Axolt takes the first game of this set in a very back-and-forth game, where they just managed to take advantage of the fact that they are a team that's played off of each other a lot, it seems like. They really know how to position with each other, they know each other's strengths, and they were able to take full advantage of that.
That is I guess, really comes in handy, just being able to get into the mind of your opponents, trying to not really predict, but just have an expectation, this is what they're most generally going to be doing. So I think having that experience like that did come in handy in that match.
And next up, we're going to go on to Clamblitz Reef, which, bridge is so important on the Reef. Everyone says it every time. But to not say it seems like a problem.
It is definitely the most popular position on this map. You're going to be seeing all sorts of fights breaking out both above and below it. If
you have any long-range weapons on bridge, they can watch your flank to car, they can watch your street, they can watch their street. It's a strong position for anything with any amount of range, really. Not a great position for, say, a zap, but if you have somebody who's more comfortable on even something like a slosher, like a normal slosher, it can be a very strong position for them. They can watch so much space so easily with it.
100%. And then especially for clams, there's going to be one of the main staging grounds for any sort of push. I mean, unless you get some of those flanks with, you tend to see brushes run on this on this map many a time, and so getting that flank is going to be an opportunity as well.
Yeah, flanking is definitely a big thing on this map. That car area is temperamental for defense.
As we get into this next match, we did see one of the teams opting to go pretty much backlineless in the last match. We'll have to see if they opt for this again, as Clamblitz does lend itself to a more mobile comp.
And they do opt for it again. And we are seeing the exact same comp out of Axolt, and I believe the same comp aside from switching to a V-Jet for Snickers here.
Learning firsthand the power of the Toxic Mist, they are opting to use it themselves in addition to the missiles. Snickers here already taking control of bridge and quite a bit of paint on Axolt's side as well. Missiles are going to be coming out as armor is popped, so there's going to be a little bit of a skirmish here as both teams are vying for clams.
Zap doing a great job there of pushing in, getting some picks as they're just clearing out space for their teammates to move in, although they don't have anywhere near the clams to make a push, so they're really just being a nuisance, being a distraction, just trying to clear out space, make sure that they have map control that they need to make a push once they're ready to, doing a smart job there of backing out, realizing that their teammates aren't quite ready to be in there with them yet.
Snickers was able to make a power clam, even though they lost it early on. That's just going to deny Axolt the opportunity to use those clams now, but that is not going to stop them from making a clan of their own. Already up to almost 20 clams. This is going to be a sizable push if they're able to hold on to them.
It does not look like they've quite managed to find a way in yet. Looks like the Try and Zap are sitting on that bridge, trying to find space. Zap getting a good trade there. Splash, sorry, getting a good trade there with the Squeezer, as getting a Squeezer out of the way is always a bit convenient. Seeing the power of Mist there yet again, stopping that Clam from being able to move forward towards the basket. Not that this seems like it'll be a huge push, because it looks like Axolt is very spread out here, seeing less of that team coordination we were seeing in the last game.
While Snickers was a little bit spread out because of the missiles there, they were able to come back together to stop them from getting close to the basket. And with the 2 members down, Axolt is going to have to back up with that power cloud trying to hold on to it. Ooh, a nice double here. Snickers really going off, getting several members of Axolt down and getting a lot of paint with it as well. Close to a power cloud. This could be the opportunity they need for a push.
It looks like it very well might be, although missiles are coming out here again from Axolt, as Snickers is trying to move in here and using this power clam, just trying to find space, but the Try and Splash denying them so much space with just those burst bombs.
It's really just a battle for mid here, as both teams haven't been able to really open the basket as of yet. A lot of paint just flipping sides for all around, able to get the jump out as 2 members go down for the side of Snickers.
Missiles at the ready yet again, looking for something, not quite able to find it, as the Neo Splash has moved into their base and is using that bomb rush to just say, "Hey teammates, you wanna jump here? I've got a spot." Not quite able to get the other power clam in, but the Splash might try and drop and grab it, although it does not seem like they're going to be able to get it in time. They have pushed to 71, which is better than leaving it at 80, but still not great, although that is another player down on the side of Snickers, which could allow Axolt to get a few more clams in here, and it does. Just the Zap left up. They do have a few clamps at the ready, but they can't manage to get to the basket in time.
While 68 isn't a sizable push, we are about 3 minutes into this match already, and with the pace this is going, that might be just what they need to carry on this match.
It's definitely a mode that can stall itself out a little bit if everyone's not quite on the same page coordination-wise. Managing to get, once again, a big trade there with that Jet. Squeezer does manage to take them out, but Spets has managed to get this flank off yet again, but their teammates can't quite manage to get the flank in, throwing some clams down for their teammate, but they don't seem to be noticing, even though there is a this way being mentioned by Spets. They do go down, but there is another power in, taking another 4 points. Doesn't look like this next power is probably going to be able to get in. Doesn't look like there's quite space for them, as Snickers is reclaiming this bridge area.
Yeah, with Snickers respawning and pushing back out here, that's going to be the end of that push. That's going to be dropping another pig clam for the side of Snickers. Not quite able to get too many more points in their lead for Axolt, though they're still maintaining a good portion of their side of the bridge.
And there's only a minute left in this game, and once again, no major pushes have been had, although Axolt and Snickers both have power clams ready. The bubble's coming out pretty early there from the Squeezer. They do go down in the process. It does seem that they have taken out Axolot's power clam with them, but Spets manages to re-grab that, painting up this tree area, just trying to find space. Another jump coming in. Oh, and they are jumping into that basket area, able to get it in, taking another 10 points off, armor coming out, and this is a big push here. We're finally seeing it. They are down to 30. There's just 30 seconds left. They have a few clams at the ready. They probably won't be able to stall out basket quite long enough, although I've been wrong before, and I could very well be wrong again, as the Try is coming in here with 4 more clams.
With the Splash holding that car area, the Try is trying to get in to get some more clams in, but is unfortunately not able to before the basket closes. Although we do have the 5 seconds of the match, it is going to push it into overtime with that power clam dropping.
Overtime in Clam Blitz lasts for 20 seconds before you open the basket, so the power clam does need to move somewhat quickly as armor comes out, missiles come out, a Zap has gone down, the Splash has gone down. This can be a big push from them, but will they be able to gather enough clams to be able to get down to 15 points?
It's going to require a huge amount of clams, and with Axolt respawning now, they're going to have a lot of contention here as they're into zone. 2 members of Snickers already down, with the Junior the only one remaining.
Junior, and they do go down to the Splash, and that should be game, unless something very wild happens to Axolt.
Unfortunately, not today. Axolt taking this second match, and they're going to be taking this set, but we will be going to that third match as always.
And that third match will be on Splat Zone's Wahoo World, another circle map.
I've heard a lot of complaints about Wahoo World coming back, but I think Zone's Wahoo World is a pretty fun map to play on.
It's not my personal favorite. I think Zone's is the least annoying of its modes, though, for sure. But I have many bad map opinions, so I could definitely be in the wrong here. I tend to be a fan of Schellendorf on occasion, which I know is not the move.
Yeah, I would have to be with you there. I am a pretty big fan of Schellendorf as well.
I am interested in seeing if that jet sculpture comes back out. I would not be surprised to see either team use a lot of missiles on this map, as that plat area is so just tight and compact, and there are so few movement options to stay around the zone in this map that missiles do arguably more here than I'd say any other map in the game.
Indeed, and they have seemed to favor the missiles over any Booyah weapon, but we could potentially see a K-52. Definitely the jet going to be coming back out. I think I've seen a lot of good stingrays on this map.
Yes, it could be a V or C jet on this map for sure. K-shot, nearly a guarantee at this point in the game. Especially with only a couple days left. And here we go into Wahoo Zones for Game 3 of Round 3 of SOS 81.
I would not be surprised if we saw the double NZAP coming out. That seems to be pretty standard, and that's going to come in helpful for the zones. Yeah, we're going to have a pretty much untouched comp here.
I will say that Axolt has switched to Tri Nouveau here. Not a weapon we see very often, but one I'm very happy to see. That Splat Bomb and Rain is always a fun combination, and double missiles coming out from Snickers, which once again, not surprising, Tri going for an opening flank.
With the typical no-wing strategy trying to sneak right in, but they do get called out pretty early on and go down. Snickers taking the first zone control and going to be taking down the first points of the match.
I will say that from the sets I've seen the Tri running in the earlier games of this set, they are running quite a bit of QR, so maybe they're just dying early on purpose, just trying to get their QR to work faster, you know. Just speed running QR, as you do.
Actually. That is definitely a viable strat, but we do see the squeezer going down here, and with the missiles coming in, that might be the zone flopping in Axolt's favor.
Yeah, and the Zap doesn't quite, and the Splash doesn't quite manage to get the pick there, but it distracts them from zone long enough for them to take the objective. Zap managing to get another pick as they do go down there, but Splash has respawned now. Probably going to try and jump into that Tri if they're in a safe position. Tri was not in a safe position, though, as the Splash is now in mid, just applying some poking pressure, trying to stay alive. Missiles at the ready here. They're probably going to pop them fairly soon to just make sure that they can hold this zone for a bit longer.
Members of Axolt trying to get in, trying to get a little bit of paint on that zone, but unfortunately do go down once again. 3 members down, and with the K-Stat jumping out, still holding on to those missiles, there's going to be quite a bit of points coming down.
Yeah, absolutely. There is an armor at the ready. They are close to that bomb rush, it seems like. Tri is getting close to Rain, Zap is close to missiles, and they have all 4 specials online, so they can make a huge push here if they're careful.
Armor gets activated on the side of Snickers as well. They're ready for the defense. Are they able? No, the Tri is
getting 2 huge picks there.
And that's going to be the zone in favor of Axolt here. That puts a pretty sizable penny for Snickers, but they still have a sizable lead to go with it.
Splash managing to get a great trade there with the squeezer. Although, of course, it's always better if you don't trade. A trade with a squeezer, never the worst thing you could get.
The squeezer being one of the more longer range weapons on this map, it is definitely one of the key weapons to take out.
Zap sitting over here close to Armor, waiting for the pick on that Zap, able to get it. Armor missiles coming out. 2 down thanks to that Zap. Armor probably coming out here from the Zap. They do go down as missiles come out, but this should be a zone flip, as the Jet Sculpture is going to be forced to just kind of hold a safe position, not take too many risks as they're just trying to get paint on the zone. But the Tri is doing a great job of poking with bombs and just being a nuisance. Along with that Rain, forcing them to back off some.
Yeah, the range is keeping them out a little bit longer, and they're through their penalty now. With the missiles coming in, that's just going to stall them out even longer. But unfortunately, that is going to be 2 down for Axolt.
Tri already respawned, trying to jump in probably, but bubbles come out from the squeezer, allowing zone to flip pretty easily, as you do have to respect the bubbles, or they will just explode in your face. Squeezer doing a
bigger headbutt than you expected.
Of course. Zap using those auto bombs, trying to clear some space to get in. Zone is in Snickers' control, but it is very back and forth right now, as the Tri seems to be trying to flank over this wall again, forcing them to back off, which could allow Zone to flip, as Zap forced 2 players away from it, which it does. Spet's able to get a great pick there on the squeezer. and really just going for this, for taking their space, able to help the Zap out there, getting that pick on the K-Shot, I believe.
We are going to be seeing this try really pushing up into the enemy base here. That's just going to really put some pressure in. If they're not able to dislodge them, that's going to be a thorn in their side for this Rain. Like, oh, well, there it goes.
But this could easily be lead as missiles and the bomb rush come out, allowing them to take lead here. Very easily could be game if they play this safely, as the Splash is stuck in this 1v1, not quite able to help paint the zone right now.
The zone is...
Although the zone has not flipped.
Now. That's 2 members down for Snickers. That's going to be Axolt in control of zone still. And as the rest of the members are coming back into mid, there's going to be pretty much game now.
Yes, that does seem like it is game. And that is all 3 games of this set to Axolt. This is the first game where we haven't seen at least one game go to the other... First set where we haven't seen at least one game go to the other team.
Absolutely. Well done to both of these teams here.
Yes. Really great game there out of Axolt, just showing their team coordination and how well they can use that to just lock down a set.
And I think it's even more impressive they were going up against both the Squeezer and the Jet, and for a map like Wahoo World with so much open area to control, that is not an easy feat.
Yeah, the Tri really knew what they were doing in terms of managing to maybe not always get the pick, but at least displace everybody enough to allow their teammates to get in, get that zone, which is just as important as any picks you can get. All you need is to have the objective. The kills don't really matter.
100%. I do believe that's going to be the end of our Nessie pools here. We're going to be taking a break before we go on to the top cut. But before that, we have a couple of notes for y'all to be aware of.
Riptide is coming up this weekend. It's a LAN at the Kalahari in Sandusky, Ohio from September 9th through the 11th. It'll have Splatoon, Smash, Rivals, and others. This will be the first LAN to, well, almost the first LAN to host a Splatoon 3 event. First open access one. And there will be a Splatoon 2 event on Saturday and Sunday. And for anyone who's not already planning on going, it will be streamed on IPL. This is one of the first LANs that IPL is having a huge fandom.
Absolutely, you don't want to miss this. Tune into IPL this weekend. It's pretty much unique. You have a Splatoon 2, the last of the Splatoon 2 tournaments, and one of the first Splatoon 3 tournaments all in the same weekend. It's going to be super hype.
It'll be really exciting. Make sure you tune in.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Swim or Sink 81. Once again, it is I, Mad Gamer II, and joined by the Nox.
Hello, we are here in round 1 of Great White, with half is an egirl and Axolt. And what are you expecting to see out of this game on TC Starfish, Mad?
Well, if I remember correctly, Axolt was running pretty much no backline whatsoever, opting for that double N-Zap try and the... I want to say Squeezer? I think it was?
Splash, I believe.
The
Splash.
Okay. Yes, the Splash. Yes. So we're going to it'll have to be what half is an egirl bringing out, because so far Axolt has been pretty consistent with our comp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really know what half is an egirl is going to be running. I know half tends to be a bit of a flex player, and I don't really recognize the rest of the names there, do you?
I do not. It's going to be a mystery all wrapped in an enigma.
TC Starfish... Oh, no, you go.
Yeah, I was going to say, we do know it's going to be TC Starfish. That is the one thing we know for sure.
We do absolutely know that. Definitely a map where I would not be surprised to see an anchor coming out, whether it be a Splatling or a Charger. I think Splatlings can do really well here, taking advantage of those grates on the side of the map to kind of flank. But not something you see them do very often, but I think it can work really well here. I've seen old VODs of Kaji doing it.
I can concur with that statement. Booyah Bomb Impulse. Both Booyah Bomb and Stingray are going to be pretty helpful as it is tower control. And I think Booyah even more so with the terrain of this map.
And we are seeing we're seeing roughly what we'd expect out of both teams, although Axolt has switched out for a Keishin, which is pretty spicy compared to what we've been seeing.
Rather than the double N-Zap, we're going to be having a double bucket comp.
And we are seeing a V-Splash coming out from half as an egirl, not a weapon that we see a ton of, but I enjoy seeing the mist come out. And there's already one down on the side of Axolt, as half as an egirl, the Zaps have just essentially traded. Although, that is a 2v2 situation. Zap on the side of Axolt just respawned, as the Keishin is holding this mid area here, poking at the Squeezer, not quite able to find the pick, having to back off before the Squeezer can get them. And they are just poking around these ledges, knowing full well that they can take advantage of that chip and AoE that they have, that all of these shooters in the Nautilus don't have access to.
Yeah, Axolt doing an excellent job of just sticking together and teaming up, trying to take on these flanks here. As you see, another one attempting to go on the left side. Armor does come in to save that Nautilus here. In fact, I'm just noticing with the vanilla Splash, they're running double Inkjet between the Nautilus and the Splash.
Starfish is definitely a solid Inkjet map, as we see the Splash and Nautilus teaming up on this left side. The Zap does go down, the Splash has gone down, but the Nautilus is still up with this Inkjet, and it's just the try and Zap which would have a hard time contesting it, as the Nautilus is trying to move in. Squeezer managing to get a pick, and the try goes down, and that is the last two on respawn, as they should be able to get at least to this first checkpoint here right in front of their snipe, although the try will probably be able to drop them pretty easily from snipe if they don't get up there pretty quickly.
Yeah, this does have an excellent opportunity, because the main thing they want to be holding on to is that snipe area, because that's going to be right above the first checkpoint. And from there, they can get into further the enemy base, and so that's just going to lead up to pretty much an extended push if they can pull this off.
Inkjet coming out here, managing to get two, and it's just the Zap up, and I don't quite know where they are. They are trying to move in through that left side, actually, and the Nautilus manages to get them to that as a triple from the Nautilus, as they are just trying to move this tower as far forward as possible, as quickly as possible, and half as an egirl is just really tearing through them at the final checkpoint with just the Zap up again. And there is a suction bomb on that tower, but you don't need to worry about it because of how the pole is, how you're able to position around the pole. And the Inkjet comes out, and that is 100-0 push there from half as an egirl just once they got rolling, unable to be stopped.
Yeah, during the second half of that push, that Nautilus was absolutely on fire, getting 3 down in the first spawn, and then getting a couple more right at the end there, popping the Inkjet and just keeping them away from the tower for the whole second half of that push. Very impressive.
Really impressive. Very impressive to just see them able to apply so much pressure and keep them so staggered for that long.
And because of the comp that ran, they didn't really have a whole lot of range to contest it either, so it was a pretty solid push from start to finish.
Yeah, it definitely was. It seemed like Axolt was having a very hard time getting in. Even though Keishin can be so strong on that map, they definitely didn't have anything to deal with a Nautilus. A notoriously challenging weapon to displace.
100%. But we are going to be going to Rainmaker Snapper Canal, which is going to lend itself to a slightly different composition, I would imagine. It's going to be a slightly different strategy as well.
Most likely, yeah. Rainmaker Snapper is one of the maps where you really don't need to worry about pop as much.
Yeah, because there's not a whole lot it can paint from way up in that little structure in the middle.
Yeah, no. And it's also very unlikely to get picks because of how it's positioned. So people tend to go for claiming both hills over anything else. You'll typically see support armor players, sometimes missile players, going over to their right hill and painting up for specials over there. And you'll see everybody else maintaining their street, maybe trying to take that left hill and just locking down those spaces that people love to push through really early on.
Yeah, with how open this map is, getting paint control is going to be pretty crucial.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Definitely a map where paint control makes a huge difference, in a map that can take a while to get a good push going, but if you manage to get a good push going, is so hard to stop. And Axolt has Rotcliffe in now on a bamboo, which applies a lot more range pressure, will be able to challenge that Nautilus more, and we are seeing a V-Squeezer come out from half as an egirl.
Yeah, I was thinking someone's gonna bring out the Stingray, but that's not the pick I was expecting for it.
I don't disagree with it. I think that Squeezer is a pretty solid option. I think it's underrated. K-Shot managing to get a pick on them though, as they're trying to move in. Bamboo keeping an eye on the Zap, not quite able to find the pick as the Zap manages to rush them down, taking advantage of all that speed they have. Zap looking to get some paint down, looking for picks, not quite able to find any quite yet. Not quite ready to grab the Rainmaker. Does go down to a suction bomb though. And there are two down on the side of half as an egirl. This could be a push opportunity for Axolt as one of the Zaps is moving into mid here, getting ready to grab. They do get flanked though and not quite able to do anything with it.
Yes, indeed. We're pretty much back to a stalemate now as that Rainmaker carrier does get taken down by the Nautilus. It is going to be popped by Axolt here, but the Inkjet is going to be popped, pretty much stalling them out a little bit longer.
K-Shot managing to get a great pick on the Nautilus there, starting to move into this mid area. Bamboo watching mid. Rainmaker's about to reset as they're just trying to regain this mid control. K-Shot does go down. They're going for pop here as the K-Sheen's Fizzies are able to help with that a lot, but not quite. They are able to get it. As Rotcliffe is just keeping an eye on everything, doing what Bamboos do best of just kind of poking and waiting for people to mess up and get into their range.
Doing an excellent job of just zoning out half as an egirl here, taking a lot of control over this right side, not allowing them to drop too far. They had an opportunity to push, but because they had to pop the Rainmaker in the process, half as an egirl was able to respawn and take back some of that map control. They're going to be picking up here, getting the first lead, but not by a whole lot.
Lead's a strong word. It's in theory a lead. Neither team has cracked 90. This is the first lead. K-Sheen is the only one up. Not quite able to find the pick, taking advantage of the fact that they can play safer on the ledge, but the Ray does come out from that V-Squeezer. Half as an egirl able to get a very strong push there all the way to 18. As the K-Shot is moving in here, just the Nautilus up, and I believe they're on respawn as the K-Shot is moving in, painting up. They're probably going to go through left here, knowing that they don't have time to get into street before the Nautilus has time to set up on that snipe. And the K-Shot popping these missiles, clearing out that left, holding people off from that left area for a bit longer, and working on that next set of missiles, along with moving forward.
Yeah, getting that wipe early on was allow them to get such a good lead right through the middle here, but we will be seeing them taking this left side, which tends to be the more preferred route. It is a little bit safer.
Oh,
not
they just
able
needed
to do the lead
3
off it,
points. Pop taking out the Bamboo there as the Squeezer is moving up into mid, applying a lot of pressure once again. Zap painting up, getting this armor ready for their push. Looking for anyone, but not, well, probably not really looking for anyone. They're looking for armor. Ray coming out from the Squeezer here, and the K-Shot has DC'd, but it is too late into the game for it to matter.
Ooh, yeah, that is quite unfortunate. Half of the egirl does have the lead already, and because it is so late in the game, they're not going to be able to get a replay off this.
That is true, but they will have a chance to take it back. It is a best of 5 set. They have plenty more games to take it back. They have shown that they can put up a good fight.
And already getting down to 3 members down, this could be an opportunity for them to get that.
It absolutely could be. Bamboo trying to get a pick on this Zap here, not quite able to find it as Zap's strafing speed is a little bit ridiculous at times.
Most of the time is going to be taking another member down with them.
Absolutely. The Squeezer here trying to they're just going to play it pretty safe for the rest of the game. It looks like they might try and go for the KO, but this is also just a very strong area to stall from. Doesn't look like they're necessarily too focused on getting forward as missiles come out here from the bamboo. Suction bomb from the Zap. Keishin spamming those fizzies, but the Zap has gone down. The bamboo's not able to really look at the Rainmaker right now, and it is just the bamboo up as the Inkjet comes out. And they might actually be able to knock out off of this.
Yeah, with the Rainmaker essentially being the longest range weapon on this map here, there wasn't a whole lot they could do to get it in that corner. Able to get it down to 1, but not able to knock it out just yet. They're going to be trying, though. The Rainmaker does get popped, and there's a whole lot of pressure going on. The Enzyme getting a nice pick there, but they're going to be taking it and running.
A good move on the Rainmaker's part, getting that reset. They probably still won't be able to do much out of that, but they are able to prevent the KO, which can help so much mentality-wise for the rest of the set.
Absolutely, but we do see the Inzap and the Nautilus trying to do a little bit of camping, trying to keep them at bay. But right now, the Rainmaker's just going to be set up in this corner for the rest of the match.
Yes. An unfortunate DC there. That was shaping up to be a very close game. But we've got 3 more to go. If Axolt manages to pull off the reverse sweep here.
Indeed, still some good opportunities for them to come back from this. It is not over just yet.
The next map we have is Clan Blitz Piranha Pit. Do you have any thoughts on this map?
I think that Nautilus is going to have a heck of a time. I think I tend to see Nautilus do pretty well on Piranha Pit, but we have been seeing that Bamboo on Piranha Pit as well, so I think we'll see another Bamboo Nautilus clash we saw a couple matches ago on Zones? Oh no, it was Clams, I believe. Yes,
I believe so. That would not be an overly shocking comp to see come out. I would like to see the Bamboo come back out. I think overall it helps their comp a lot. I think it allows them to have way more ranged pressure, which is always nice. And yeah, I don't think we're going to see V-Squeezer come out again, although I could be wrong because Piranha Pit is a very solid Ray map.
It is an excellent Ray map, but I think because of the Clan Blitz, the bubbles are going to be the special of choice.
Most likely, although the wall can be very helpful for similar reasons. And it seems that Spets has switched back in for Axolt, which means that I would not be surprised to see the Tri come back, as that is all we have seen them on.
Indeed. Do you think they'll be bringing back the Nouveau, or will they be opting for the armor again?
On this map, I would be surprised to see the Nouveau, although Rain's definitely not bad here. I would not be upset to see the Nouveau come out by any means. I think it could work perfectly fine in their comp. And I don't think armor is particularly helpful against a weapon like Nautilus, because Nautilus doesn't care about your armor. It looks at it and laughs.
True.
Armor is a false sense of protection against a Nautilus. Less so missiles. Missiles work better against a Nautilus, but they're definitely... Spets could play a missile weapon. I could be wrong, but I'd be very surprised to see them switch off that try.
I think it would come down to what sub-weapon they want to poke with. Both the Splat Bomb and the Burst Bomb are good for getting the members up on their ledge coming back from spawn there. While the Burst Bomb doesn't necessarily have the killing power, it can certainly get a lot of paint down really, really quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I will say that paint probably is not as much of a worry for them with the amount of zaps they've been running.
That is true.
Pretty good at throwing around some paint, and I think Splat Bombs do apply a little bit more of that lethal pressure that can be so helpful against weapons like Nautilus and Squeezer, which we've been seeing them run so much of. Those are weapons that they otherwise have a relatively hard time contesting.
Indeed. And we shall be seeing soon enough what they decide to go with.
Clan Blitz Piranha Pit is always an adventure. It can be a map that definitely snowballs very quickly, and we are seeing Glugas come out in double Keishin.
Oh, an adventure indeed. That is a very unusual comp for both sides.
No zaps coming out of Axolt this time, a surprise.
No Nautilus either. This is going to be shaping up quite to the match.
And we already see 2 down on the side of Half as an egirl. Junior moving in here, getting some paint down for those Keishins. Armor out, as they're just quickly able to encroach on this basket. They need a few more clamps to be able to make the power, as their teammates throw them in front of them. Junior painting that rail for some reason instead of grabbing the clams to make the power. The Gluga is watching those clams now. They're not going to be able to grab them very easily, as the Junior is going to go down as 3 people look at them. I will point out now that Half as an egirl is now running the double zap, which is a shift in roles.
They are indeed, and while Axolt had such a good aggressive push right at the beginning that they weren't able to capitalize it with their clams. It looks like just a little bit of miscommunication on who has the power clam, and they weren't quite able to achieve that.
Yes, and we are seeing that Junior seeming to run a double bomb build, considering that I saw 2 splat bombs down there, and it's the only splat bomb weapon. We are seeing this Keishin almost to a power clam, getting it before they use their splashdown. Very smart, and it is just the Glooga up, and they are able to just rush this basket. They have 16 clams at the ready. This could be a huge, huge push for them, as Spets is just up here being a nuisance with this Keishin, knowing what they can get away with. They do get splashdown canceled, unsurprisingly, at this level of play.
Oh my goodness.
But they do manage to get both powers in, and that is a push to 45. So even though both slashdowns did get taken out, they will A, have them again in 2 seconds, because that's how canceling slashdowns works. And B, they distracted everybody long enough for those clams to be able to get in.
I was about to say right before that unfortunate cancel that the Slosh Machine, that is an excellent position for them to be in, just right up against that ledge. They can put a whole lot of pressure, but activating the splashdown there, that kind of just brings you up to the level of defenders where they can easily just, pop, you're gone.
And we are seeing one of the Zaps here trying to get in from behind, but the Keishins are going to be able to poke around those walls and areas so well that they just, it's not a great position to be in. They do manage to take out the Junior and the Keishin, but they go down in the process, preventing any jumps in that they might have been trying to set up. Glooga does manage to take out one of the Zaps. It is just the bamboo up, and the bamboo goes down. This can be a huge, huge push here from Half as an egirl as they are trying to move in. Clam goes in the basket. They get down to 70 points. They have a few clams authority, but they're pretty far away, so they're probably going to have to jump in with them. Oh, I am wrong. They get down to 50. They just need a few more clams to get lead, but they don't. Oh, and they spawn in a very convenient place for them. But they're not able to grab them as Axolt grabs them before they get the chance to. Actually locking the pod, which is not something we see done super often. Always nice to see that.
Yeah, the last of the Half as an egirl is going to have to jump out there as they were heavily outnumbered. Axolt getting the clams, getting ready for another push, but so far they still have hold of the lead, if by 5 points.
Good trade there from that Keishin. A good use of Splashdown, knowing that they'll get the chip in. It is a 2v2 situation, although a Junior and a Bamboo is not the best combo to be your last 2 up. Zap popping army here, rushing down this Bamboo, really preventing the Bamboo from being able to do much, and they just need to get a couple of clams in. And the Bamboo is back so far off, and they managed to take lead.
That Enzap was certainly going at it, trying to its best to really take down that Enzap, and now they can position jumps to right behind the basket if they're able to get more clams.
And we are seeing Half here trying to get those picks, able to get one with a suction bomb, but not quite able to fully get them. Zap managing to get a ton of clams, and then they just need 3 more to win. And they have that number, but I don't know where their last members are. It does not seem that they are able to get to basket in time. Oh no, they are. I'm wrong. The Squeeds are managing to shark in a small little puddle and managing to take this game, allowing Half as an egirl to take this set 3-0.
Yeah, once again sneaking out under the noses of both the players and the casters, coming in with the last few remaining clams that they need. That is going to be keeping them in this set.
Absolutely.
Actually, I take
it's
that back.
winning them this set.
That is going to be Half an egirl taking the set. You're right, and this is not a play L5. It's going to be Axolt out, unfortunately, for this tournament.
Really great play from both teams, so lots of back and forth. Although a couple of them were KOs, Axolt put up a great fight. Really fun games to watch and to commentate.
100% agree. I honestly don't have much more to say about these two teams. Like, they certainly brought out some very unusual comps right at the end there.
Absolutely. Always fun to see the Gloogas. Always fun to see some Keishins. Wonderful to get to see some different weapons than we usually see. Can't wait for the start of Splat 3 where we're just never going to know.
That's what I've been saying in this past week is like, teams are getting ready for Splat 3. What kind of mindset are they going to have when they're playing Splatoon 2? Like, how are they going to sharpen their skills for the next game? And I think that's kind of what we've been seeing in some of the weapon picks for this past couple of matches.
I absolutely agree. And with that, I believe that we are going to sign off. I have been Nox.
And I've been Ahmed Gamer. Where can the good people find you, Nox?
They can find me at Twitter, at NoxRaven42, and they can find me on Twitch, also NoxRaven42. A little predictable. And where can they find you?
You can find me on both Twitch and Twitter at IMedGamerII. You can definitely expect a lot of Splatoon 3 content in the coming weeks.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you tune back in for the rest of Great White.
Hello everyone and welcome back to SOS 81. This is quite a journey, isn't it? My name is Skepidillions and I am here with the lovely and fantastic Genie7. It's always a pleasure being on mic with you, Genie, and for such a momentous occasion as we close out the last SOS of Splatoon 2. How are you feeling?
I closed out Dapple today. That was a little bit emotional. And now this is going to be my last Splatoon 2 tournament commentating before Splatoon 3. It'll be because I know we've got Riptide coming up, so a lot of people are going to have their closing as a LAN. But for us online fogies, as we're both LAN goers, but you know, for us online fogies today, sad day. It'll be a sad day. But I've got a little thing prepared for us in between this set and Grands before everyone hops out after Grands. But for now, we've got two really strong teams. Midtown 2 and Pelu got grounded. I love the cat emojis.
Imagine getting grounded just before the release of Splatoon 3, am I right?
School just started. How badly did you mess up? Literally, how badly? Like, you had one job not to get grounded before school started.
Oh my gosh, and here we go with Pelu got grounded with the double bucket 96 C-Jet comp. Man, that is cool, okay. And then Midtown 2 sticking with that triple shooter charger comp as we go in.
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited to see what both these teams are going to be rocking. Now they've got the members are down, and the Rainmaker is already making their way down to not really crazy as we are on this lovely map Blackbelly skate park today.
Yeah, one that we're going to be missing as we head into Splatoon 3. The Ray coming out from Pelu got grounded, going to cause a little bit of a kerfluffle there from Midtown 2. Not getting that Rainmaker above grass with just Kalana left standing. They are going to be forced back by that bucket, getting a trade out on the way though. So Pelu got grounded, quickly having an advantage here.
Pelu got grounded, definitely going to have the advantage. Those buckets, they need to start getting that work done when they start this push. What ways can they, like, effectively, as we start getting in this push, follow up with that Stingray? So far, going so good. Unfortunately, dying, but they get the lead. That's not a strong lead on this map, but a lead nonetheless.
Yeah, 49 remaining is something that could go down in a heartbeat, but we are in a 2v2 situation. Make that a 2v1 situation, just a 96 left on Pelu got grounded. So Midtown 2 going to take an opportunity here to be push up, work their way up, get some mid control, and begin a much stronger push here. They are going to have those bubbles and that Ray ready to go, so we'll see how that ends up.
Yeah, that's bubbles. Okay, I was gonna say that. It looks like double ray to me, but no, that is definitely bubbles. Armor is gonna be coming up from this side of Midtown 2, popping that ray as well. But the counter rays are dueling so far. No ground has been gained. Wait, no. This is a Stingray. Wait, no,
Vanilla Squeeze. Oh man.
Vanilla Squeeze. Oh, I love Splash Wall. I love Splash Wall Squeezer, but the push is going. Bunny Buns is trying to make their way downtown with this Rainmaker, but not able to make their way past mid. Oh my goodness. Midtown, making their way. Craziness.
Midtown can't even get in the mid, ayo.
No.
Granted, pushing up into the hills, the 96 very quickly going to be shut down by Honey Buns. That wall coming in clutch, though, as they try and defend cut. Pelu got grounded, still having the fish, and also popping that Burst Bomb Rush as well. The Burst Bomb Rush going to get punished by Honey Buns as they try and swim their way towards that fish with their teammate Prophet. Getting the pick there is really good for them, but they need to get mid. Otherwise, they're going to find themselves in no Midtown 2.
No Midtown 2. Is that going to be on that Splatoon map that we just got dropped? That thing was legendary. I love it. I want to get a full one blown up and put on this poster on my wall. But yeah, as the Rainmaker is just being reset, we're 2 minutes remaining, and these pushes are borderline terrible.
Oh my gosh, Genie with the top tier analysis.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. Midtown 2 trying to push up. It's just been really scrappy. I genuinely feel like people are just going for picks and not like a coordinated push, but you know, it is what it is.
Wow, push dies in mid.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, hold up.
Yeah, that's a wipe, and they're gonna bring it right on through hills down that left side. Splatbilly is about to have that armor. Painting for that as quickly as possible. Pelu got grounded, going to be able to extend their lead here for a moment, but the Rainmaker is going to get sniped down by Kalana.
And that's gonna be both slashers falling. The gal's gonna be stuck in a corner. Does take out one, but that's about all. And even after that wipe, they got 1 or 2 points.
Yeah.
That's not. It's helpful, I guess. Watch them win with a 47.
47 would be quite something to win with. They do have a minute left to do it. We do see that Midtown 2 does have that Stingray to go, but the Stingray going to be going shut down by a bomb as the Soda Slusher comes around for a flanks and gets a trade. That is just a Neo Splash and the Squeezer left standing for Midtown 2 with 40 seconds remaining. Is that going to be enough to get a push going?
What Pelu got grounded needs to do is that those bucket combos plus that gal. Each of them hits a shot, they can delete an Inkling from the game or an Octoling. That's exactly what they need. They need those sloshes to come through. But they're not the ones that have to push. It's Midtown that has to push. They don't have that Ray. The Ray's at the ready quite yet. Very, very close, though, on the charger. They don't have much time. They have to find the picks here and now.
And then working their way up, we do see Geo getting a pick on Z, going to be painting up that ledge. They really barely need to get any sort of foothold in street in order to be able to get this push, but the splash is going down. We do see that Soda Slusher has quite an angle of defense there. If they go right or they go left, that Soda Slusher is going to be there to shut it down. And they have that burst rush. They barely need a single angle on the Rainmaker in order to be able to get the hit. There comes the burst rush, and down goes the fish.
Oh my goodness. That match it took so long for it to get started, and it took me so long to get the right tab open. Oh my gosh. I've been commentating on the wrong tab. But you know what?
There's no shot, gamer.
There's no shot.
Last SOS is Splatoon 2. We get it.
Yo, we get it. You know when you plug in your adapter, and then it goes through your Switch, and then it goes through your capture card, and then it comes back, and is on like 10-second lag? Yeah.
No, does not happen to me. When I unplug my capture card, my whole computer crashes. Instantly.
Oh.
It's crazy.
That is fire. But yeah, getting into this now that we're in it, now that we're in the set, we're gonna be all fired up and ready for this one. Clamblitz Humpback Pump Track.
I can't wait to never play this map mode again. Oh man!
Wait, do you like it or hate it?
I hate it with a burning passion. I want to burn it to the ground. Oh man, no, here, let me give you an analysis on why I hate this map mode so much, okay? Number one, baskets are too close together. Realistically, you have your whole entire spawn area, but those areas are relatively irrelevant when it comes to pushing objective. Yes, in order to snowball a push, you want to get control of your opponent's street, but it's not needed. So what'll happen is you'll end up on defense, you'll get a wipe, and then you'll be under basket, right? Like frame 1, because like everybody's dead. Like you pushed up. But then the clam spawns are just so abysmally slow. It's terrible. So
it's like RNG. It's so RNG based. You have to. There's 2 clam spawns that are good for you.
No, there's only 2 that are like relatively accessible, right? Or like inaccessible out of 7. You have the one in your own elbow and the one in your bunker, and then like the one like further right of bunker. So that's like really like four clam spawns that are any sort of somewhat relevant when it comes to pushing objective. 1 in each cubby, 1 in true mid, and 1 in your opponent's bunker, and each of the rats. So like, it's just terrible. I hate this map mode.
I
so
love
much.
this map. I hate this mode on this map. I despise it. This is one of my favorite maps to play heavy spotling on. I've lost 7 top 500 months in the last 6 days of the month to this map. 7 of them. Yep.
But you know, we have the honor of enjoying this beautiful, lovely, competitive map mode for Splatoon 2 for the Nintendo Switch.
Not having to play in it. This is the last time I get to see it. Bye-bye. I will not miss you.
Well, very quickly, we do see Midtown 2 going 1 down, that being the oh, no, that's the other way around. Pelu got grounded going 1 down with those buckets. Midtown 2 having control of mid and now slowly taking control of elbow. Like I said, elbow control is important because it stalls and splits defense from your opponent. So you still want to have it, but it's not necessary in order to be able to push.
It is definitely not necessary. But if you control it, as you were saying, it really can control the tides of the battle. I know I just repeated you, but we have nothing going on in mid right now. Besides Splat Billy, just trying to take that mid down. You know.
So the colors are correct. We do see that Midtown 2, they did win that last game, so a little bit of a kerfluffle on our part, but Splatbelly going to get a triple here. They have 5 clams, and this is the struggle of Clam's humpback, because now they're under basket, and now they, in theory, have control of the objective. They have to keep passing clams together, and by the time they manage to get that together, Pelu got grounded is out of spawn.
No, you take it. No, I don't want it, you take it. Now they don't have a push.
Oh!
Now the power comes dead.
Yeah, nice bubble
So much for being
there.
nice guys finish last, I swear.
Honey Buns having control of mid all by themselves. There is a jump. Are they going to be able to get it? No, they find themselves surrounded by 3 members of Midtown 2 going to go down in the process. Just this map mode, bro. It is such a scrap. Like, that's the only way I can describe it.
We just had a scrap map, now we have a second scrap map, which is exactly, I don't know what that's exactly what double sloshes wanted. So.
Yeah, it does make sense for the double slosher comp, but also, you know, like Clam Blitz is such an interesting mode. Just because of the level of coordination that it requires, and knowledge of the map that it requires, that makes it so much different than, like, say, zones where, like, you only have to know what's close to the zone. But
you have to know the zone, paint the zone, low, easy mode. What? Easy. Hopefully we can pass the clams properly. No! We had you kidding me? We had 12 clams! How do we not have a power clam? How are we 3 down?
Humpback. That's a wiper in favor of Midtown 2. But will they be able to get the clams before Pelu got grounded comes out of spawn? Most likely not, because it's clams humpback.
Yeah, but they have the clams, but can they pass them properly? That is the bigger question today.
The burst rush coming out top left, going to be shut down by Bunny Buns. Trapped in those missiles, though. We do see Midtown 2 coming around that left elbow with that power crab, trying to dunk, but Bunny Buns getting a very clean and spicy double. Will they be able to get the triple? They have the bubbles ready to go. They have someone holding the power clam, dropping on that player in stretch, going to force them back. What aggressive space taking from Bunny here.
Honey Buns, very, very, very nice bubbles. They just that little bit of space, allowing the rest of the team, look at all this paint that they've got, just for having those bubbles just kind of sit there. And that should signify a good little opportunity for them to push. There is clams on the right. Maybe they're going to grab them, maybe not. They're going to let their teammates get them, so they don't have to pass any clams. But they got scored on behind them as they threw their own power clam.
Oh, that's crazy, because they had 22 clams. They had 20 clams, but Splatbilly going to get shut down here. That basket going to come to a close, but how much ground was Pelu got grounded able to maintain during that exchange? Because they were so close to getting a very strong push going.
It looks like they still got a lot of this space, and with members on Midtown being down at the moment, these bubbles coming in, this is really signifying a good push. No, I think that's too far. If that's a power clam, that is way too far.
Oh, but they get to pick this 2 down on Midtown 2. They are going to be able to push off this. They get the dunk. They have 15 other clams. Very quickly pull lead. Honeybun having to drop through trench, trying to deal with that slosher. Doesn't get the pick, but they have pulled lead. If they are able to hold this, they have granted Midtown 2 a pity clam in the final 30 seconds of the game. But just, they need to access that. And like, once you drop into mid, it can be difficult to get that clam, but they have it. They have it ready to go.
They do have that clam ready to go. They're going to want to be following up this burst bomb rush. But the burst bomb rush, there isn't really anyone in that position to go for it. Moon is just going to be sitting under this basket, not close enough for the super jumps to come in, getting help from their other slosher friend. That is good. 2 seconds left for overtime. 2 power clams should be coming in. Can the sniper hit their shots? No, not in time. Midtown 2 taking game 2.
I wanted to make a joke out of that, but it didn't come quickly enough, Cheaty. So instead I just laughed to myself at the thought of it.
That's always, gamer, that is fine. Yeah, I always laugh. So when I commentate with other people, I love listening to little things. pull lead and the fish, you know you're commentating with the one and only Skeptic Dillions.
No! Oh my god.
Yeah. Pulling lead is...
Am I the only one who says that? That's
literally
crazy.
the only one I listen to so many other sports and esports and anything. I don't hear anyone else say pull lead. But then again, what other, like, hockey doesn't have a fish. We have a puck. Football has a football. Soccer, football, also football has a football. You know, Rainmaker's the only one with a fish. Except for fishing. They talk about fish.
You know, like, unless I'm on an official Nintendo broadcast, you know, I'm gonna be saying the fish. Like, but, you know, Nintendo, one day, you'll get me to say Rainmaker.
Yes. We will be there. We will be there one day. From somebody who's been at official Nintendo tournament before, not as a commentator but as a competitor, they are awesome. They are awesome. That one was 5 years.
We go big.
We go big. Speaking of going big, I will always say it till this map, till we're in a new game. Oh wait, when's the new game coming out? T-minus.
Oh my gosh, that's
So close.
my.
I remember
you know
when they.
that Splatoon 3 comes out?
Oh, you have a timer for this, don't you?
I'm putting it together in my head right now. 13 hours, 24 minutes, and 25 seconds.
Eastern
Did you
time.
know that?
For Eastern time gamers. All
Well,
us New York and crew. But I know I'm not from New York, and you're not from New York.
I'm gonna
but
explode, bro.
I'm going to, I have school tomorrow, and then I have school Friday. I'm gonna get my game on Friday, and then have to go to school and sit in class and pay attention.
Well, speaking of Splatoon 3, we have Mako Mark, Kalana very quickly taking control of that left side, but going to find themselves missiled with Geo having to fall back, but get a trip on their teammates' missiles. I cry.
I don't.
No!
I don't. I've killed there's a clip of me being canceled by my teammates because I killed them with the missiles. They said, just dodge them, lol. So I said, okay, here you go.
Friendly fire! Alright, Midtown 2 in control of that zone. Going to get some chip on somebody in the zone, but Honeybud's trying to push their way up, does get shut down, but Pelu got grounded, getting the cap. But do they have control of the sides? Because that's exactly what's going to benefit that double slosher comp in terms of getting away from that charger and getting picked.
Getting control on this map, especially of the glass for those double sloshers, as soon as Midtown can do that, this game is all but over. That is the positioning that they need to get to, and that is the positioning that they will strive for. But as they are right now, they can definitely get into that position, because that is a 3-down scenario, and you know where the 4th is.
And then we have Miner, and I can't tell who the other player is on the left side, taking control of their snipe. The Charger putting up some work from paper towels, but the buckets are just being very, very difficult to hit. We can see that the Soda Slusher almost has that burst rush ready to go. They have it, but Pelu got grounded coming in right from underneath them to get cap of the zone, but losing 2 players in the process, so applying some penalty, buying themselves some time, but not enough for a lock and a hold.
That is gonna be some space, but that gal going down, I believe that was over. No, that was aggressively on glass. So that should give Pelu got grounded some space to get back in onto glass, which they are exactly gonna go for. But Moon is gonna be trying to slosh that down. Not able to slosh it down in time. Missiles are gonna be coming out, and that's gonna be a zone flip. Pelu got grounded. Now trying to get their own lockout, especially with these bubbles. Trying to dodge it is Midtown. So far, so good, but they go a little bit too aggressively, and Honeybun's able to shut that down. But now, can they hold on to the zone for long enough?
Yeah, that's my question as well, because they had to burn the bubbles on their way to do it, and they're also down their backline, which is really like the main defensive backbone that's going to keep Midtown from pushing in here. All of the players are finding themselves missiles and forced to retreat. That is going to be a cap for Midtown too, but Pelu got grounded having the missiles ready for a counter offensive. Here go those missiles. That is a substantial penalty on Midtown too. They have further ready to go. They're slowly getting those bubbles. This is going to be a very strong counter push when Pelu got grounded here.
Big bow sloshers are gone. These bubbles didn't even need to come out for the cap to come through. But that's okay. That's okay if you're Midtown. They don't have to deal with those bubbles anymore. But Pelu got grounded. It's gonna be rough, especially now that the gals found the space back in. No penalty on the side of Pelu. But remember, Spot Billy is being pushed back. Are they gonna go down? Great shot, huge shot to make sure that gal gets shut down. But the zone has been given up into Midtown's favor.
And we can see Pelu got grounded, having 2 members down with 2 minutes left. The penalty for Midtown is very quickly clicking down. They have control of their own snipe again. We do see Kalana trying to get some neutralization onto that zone, nearly having that bomb rush, but very quickly going to find themselves in the crossfire between some missiles and a slosher. The rush coming out, will it be enough to neutralize the zone? Yes, for now. They also have the follow-up from the missiles to benefit them on their push, and that is a cap, but they need to deal with these 2 players on the left side.
Ooh, those shots just going a little bit to the low, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. I understand that feeling. But luckily, they were able to push them back and make the members of Midtown retreat. No penalty on the side of Pelu got grounded. That is good. Missiles coming out with the armor, that is bad. Losing 2 members, even worse. Zone has been flipped just that easily inside of Midtown 2. Pelu, they don't have much time. What can they do to get back in here, Scap?
I saw that armor come back out, and the charges shot, splat being denied was just so painful. You're not gonna have to deal with that as Splatoon 3, homie. Geowu trying to push their way back in, nearly having those missiles. That is a cap in favor of Pelu got grounded, but will they be able to hold this because they have such a large penalty and the zone just keeps flipping into neutral? Consistently and constantly they are having to deal with these missiles. Geowu trying to find a way in on that left side, trying not to get spotted, but he is spotted out by the bucket. Miner coming in and getting the pick, and 2 down on the side of, make it 3 on the side of Pelu, make it 4. That is a wipe, and Midtown is going to take the game.
Yeah, Pelu got grounded. I believe they're going to be booking their ticket now all the way to Splatoon 3 because their tournament, actually it's not done. They got 3rd place match. What am I saying?
Yeah, they're still not out for the count.
They're still in it. They're still not out of it quite yet. But they will have their final game coming up, and it won't be on the stream side. They will be in the 3rd place match. But Midtown, great job from them coming in here and shutting it down. Z's coming out with the 1 kill / assist and 14 missiles. Shout out to that. Play the custom jet or the regular jet squelcher, just spam missiles. Oh my gosh, I love you love to see it.
You do.
You do? I love to do it when I'm just like vibing out. But yeah, Midtown, they are going to be moving on into our finals for Great White, and we're gonna have Sayonara's up 2-0 right now, and over half is an egirl. So
over half is an egirl?
Yeah.
Oh my God! There they go, slandering our brand new seating staff.
Wait, half is a seating staff now?
Half is one of us now. You simply cannot come for them. SOS, we will put up hands. Staff will put up hands.
But you
come for one of us, you come for all. No, you do not let this fly, bro. Okay. Just kidding. I'm sure half is in on it. Oh, before we go on break, we do have a brief announcement about Riptide. Oh my goodness. Did you know that Riptide is happening?
No.
In 13 hours. Well, not midnight. In 18 hours. It's 17 minutes and 18 seconds. I made up an arbitrary time because I'm assuming that that's when I personally would be flying out early in the morning. But regardless, Riptide, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, where you can watch the lovely people who love Splatoon more than anything else in the world duking it out in person, and also playing a Splatoon 3 event on land, bro. On land.
Day 1, Splatoon 3.
Oh my
on the
God.
9th. Mark your calendars down, people. On the 9th. This is Friday. This is Friday for us here in the Eastern time zone of North America. That'll be Friday for you. 3 hours later for you Pacific folk, because you're awesome. Saturday and Sunday, that is going back. Still tune in. It'll be the final Splatoon 2 land. Final, all of it, if you ever, want to hold anything over anyone else, you're like, I beat you in the last event. That's where all the stuff will go down.
I think that's gonna lead to some extra sweaty gameplay and some extra vibrant pop-offs.
It always does.
There's so much at stake for the last Splatoon 2 LAN and the first one to host Splatoon 3.
Yeah.
So It's gonna be streamed right here on IPL. If you can't make it, I'm not sure if they're still selling spectator passes. You would have to go find that out.
Dude, the event's
yourself.
like starting so soon. I believe they have emergency, but they have you can't play.
I don't want to promise. I mentioned
You have
spectator
to
passes.
go to start.gg/website.
Yeah.
They have the information there.
Absolutely, and it's
They do.
It's gonna be pretty sheeshers.
And if not, you can just tune in on IPL. We got you covered here. I don't. We don't. We're
and
here.
some great commentators too are gonna be on mic. So
That list is fire.
oh man, it sure is.
It'd be more fire if we were there, but
Oh my
It's
god, Jeannie,
fire.
next year. Do you have anything else you want to say before we go on break, Jeannie?
No, we are going to be coming back from break a little bit earlier. As soon as we know, because I have a thing that I did on Dapple where I want everyone to make sure they have their Discords and Twitters ready when we come back from the break, because we are going to change the Splatoon community.
Oh my god.
Yes. But yeah, catch that after the break.
Yeah, be right back, homies.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to Sink or Swim 81. I am Genie7, joined by Skepadillions. And Skep, are you ready?
I was born ready. What are we ready for?
Born Reggie? Reggie? Okay,
what?
everybody.
Never said that!
Well, didn't I say that last week? Okay, so, anyway. What we are doing here today, people, besides waiting for Grand Finals for everything to be set up for a great set between Midtown 2 and Sayonara, we are going to remember Splatoon 2. Yes, we might have not all enjoyed it all the time, but yes, we all loved it with all of our heart for enough time to put enough hours into this game. We've made so many great friends, and I would like to take all of you right here, right now. I'm looking at you. I'm looking into my microphone because you guys can't see me, you can hear me. Go to Twitter or go to Discord. I know you have one or the other. And go on there. And I want you to type out this. I've got a nice little draft for me. I want you to say, thanks for making Splatoon 2 so much fun. Hashtag, thanks Splatoon 2. And I spammed some octolings and squids because it is fun. And I have tagged I've tagged teams that I've played on, and I'm going to tell them thank you for making this game so much fun. This might be the last time you talk to them if they don't get the new game. This might be the first time you talk to them in a couple of years if you've been playing this game for a long time. But go out there and tell them, because today is the last tournament days. Go out there and tell them thank you for making this game so much fun. Put a nice little bow in the game. Remember the fun times. All those fun times, your highest of highs, those big tournament upsets that you had. Those crazy, stupid strats that you came up with. Those weird and wacky locations you found where you can shove the Rainmaker. Those out-of-bound tricks that you never thought of. Those weird rank strats that you saw. That epic Twitter clip that you got 1,000 likes on. Whatever it was, make sure to let your friends know who were there that you appreciated them.
Good. Hey, Genie.
Yeah?
I appreciate you, homie.
I appreciate you for being here, as always, Skep. It's always a great time when Skepadillions on the mic with me.
No, stop embarrassing me.
Stop. Oh my gosh. I just gotta say, I'm forgetting. Tenna Team didn't have one. Ten, team. And...
No.
Oh, my land teams.
Wow. So we will be starting off with Sayonara and Midtown 2. This is the last streamed match for SOS of Splatoon 2. That kind of hits different. I'm not gonna lie. We have
sucks.
Q and Zero. It's interesting. We have Q and Zero, and they recently played in the Splatoon 3 Invitational. Yeah. I think that's really cool, and they played.
They killed it, absolutely killed it. There, and seeing Q not play Charger. Splatoon 2. Oh, I hate you, Splatoon 2. I hate you, Armor. Oh, I hate you. I had a nice speech about Splatoon 2, and now I'm roasting the game.
I can't wait to roast Splatoon 2. On Twitter.com, we have Jared coming in on the right side of the street, trying to take as much control as possible. Sayonara not having any clams quite yet, but they do have the picks. 2 down on the side of Midtown 2, and a 3rd jumping out. This could be an opening gambit for them.
They need these clams. They need to get these clams easily to each other. Hopefully they can pass them properly. Luckily, no! God, I'm walking away. I'm walking away. I'm walking away. How can you do this? Why of all days today? How can people not understand how to play clamlets? We have 8 clams in the next game. That doesn't mean you throw the clam off the map in this game. Oh my... I'm done.
One could say he dropped the ball. Hey, yo. Sayonara getting in here, breaking that basket for the first time, quickly getting below 50 remaining. They do have 3 members up. It is a 3v3 situation with 2 members of Midtown 2 being on that slick. Jared, they're going to have to shark this out, though, because they are going to find themselves in a rather precarious situation if they don't fall back and try and maintain presence on both left and right hills.
Okay, I'm back.
Blam, blam.
I'm back. Oh.
Splatoon 2.
Jared's going to the next level. Jared says, I'm still here in Splatoon 2. I don't know about you guys. Please don't throw the clam into the water again, Jared. But here they go with this inkjet, looking for the shots. Oh, good connections with that. Even though their teammate did take it in the end, I feel like Sayonara's got the ability to get some clams in here. Unfortunately, losing most of their 6 clams. But 17 clams is still plenty enough to make a pair. I can't. I can't say clam.
It's plenty enough to marinate in mid and maintain control. They do quickly have 21. Midtown 2 trying to regain control of the right hill as they try and push their way back in. Getting a pick on that jet is huge, but the jet wasn't the one holding any of the clams. Sayonara going to find themselves in a very cheeky 2v1, getting the edge there. It is just Rainbow on that right side. Are they going to jump out? Yes, they are.
Whew. Wow, and this is Sayonara. They're just absolutely feeding that basket clams. That basket is hungry, but not hungry enough. Midtown says no. No more clams for our basket today. We need to actually defend, and we need to start our push.
Yeah, and they finally have an opportunity to get control of mid and those hills, which I keep saying again, but it's just so important. But as I say that, they're very quickly finding themselves 2 down. Make it 3. Once again, it is just the 96, but the 96 is gone. Are we going to see another push from Sayonara here? These are just back to back in a show of unrelenting force.
Yeah, they're trying to get these clams together. Hopefully, please, thank you. They got the clams in the right spot. And now we're gonna see Sun going down. I think Midtown is gonna say, here comes the Sun. Because this is definitely looking to be a good push for Sayonara, but those missiles perfectly splitting off Sun away. And those bomb rush coming up from Moon. Saying, you're the Sun, I'm the Moon, you're back in spawn.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's cheeky, bro. Very good picks there from Midtown in order to stall out that push, but they have a minute and a half in order to have one heck of a push. Moon finding themselves missiles, going to try and sweep that right side, but Midtown already 2 down. Oh, Moon either going to fall into the water or going to get picked by Sun. The Sun rises!
The Sun does rise on a new day. Not Splatoon 3 yet. 0 does go down. But the Sun will rise. But Moon says, I'm going to take back mid. We don't want to be out of this match. They have a little bit of time to make a lot of bit of progress. How can they do this here, Skep? It's a big question.
They need to not go down, but that's obvious.
Wow.
Because if they continue to go down, they're going to keep giving the clam spawns in favor of Sayonara. But they also, like, in order to get those claims, they need to have control of both of those hills, which is just so critical, which means you have to win your 2v2s. Sayonara coming in and dunking once again. That is going to grant Midtown a pity clam, though, because they're not going to be able to KO off of this. That was a dangerous play in the final moments of the game.
Dangerous, but the push is still going. That's some space being made at the end of it, but this needs to be good from Sayonara. 0 goes down, but taking 2 around with him is good. Jared falls though. This is gonna be scrappy. Just the bucket and the jet alive. Now just the jet on the side of Q inside of Sayonara, but they're gone now as well. How much can Midtown get down here? Miner's going in, has these clams, sees Jared. Jared goes down in the trade. Not many clams left for Midtown. They need to come in here. 0's still alive, holding his basket down. Now Sun is here to back up, but Moon falls, and that's going to be Midtown dropping all in a wipe. Sayonara taking game 1.
Yeah, in a rather decisive fashion as well. The Sayonara had 3 successful pushes, and all of those pushes were significant in terms of how many points that they cleared and how much space they controlled and how quickly they got the picks. And I think the word that I want to use for that is explosive. Even that final push, which very quickly fizzled out, I guess it lacked the gunpowder. But
what about that first like 0.5 push? What about that one? Was that good or no? You remember that one?
0.5?
The one that happened before the first push, the one where they're trying to get all the clams together.
Oh, well, that was just interesting. That one I call all smoke and no fire. You know, like...
That they literally put it out. They put it in the water.
They took the, I don't know, don't do this, but you know, they put their fireworks in the washing machine.
Mahi's coming in. Mahi's coming in the rotation. Y'all don't know the original water map. When we talk about maps that are wet, and like, I don't like saying like wet in a term of getting wet on the map. You are going to fall in that map, like off that map, so many times.
You underestimate me.
From somebody who died in World 1 of Super Mario, I can say I hate that map in Splatoon 1 because I can't make the jump. Yes, I died on the first level of Super Mario.
I can't wait to die in so many creative ways on my.
I can't wait to buy a new controller.
I can't wait to own 8 more pairs of Joy-Con.
I didn't buy a new controller because of spiking it, but Mahi's back. I went 5 years of Splatoon 2, didn't spike a controller. I'm gonna go 1 week in Splatoon 2, and I'm gonna have 3 spikes. Because I got Mahi.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of Genie,
what
is your... Oh, here we go. We are going right into Splat Zones on the Reef.
I love this map. I love this mode. It is hold the bridge or lose the map. And if you hold the bridge...
I have some strategic opinions here. I think holding street's more important than holding bridge. I know that makes me of different opinion, but I think that, like, what are you gonna do? Continue to scrap on bridge for the entirety of the game?
Well, you play
just
blob.
For the sake of holding bridge? No! Push up, take their street, deny their space, and work their way up to car, then just watch the right drop and the left drop. Like literally, like, just get in their spawn. That's my favorite thing about Reef. Hold car.
Holding car is actually the best spot, but you have to have a competent team. Luckily, these two teams are playing in, like, teams, and they're also in the finals, as we see Q just being the last member of Sayonara alive. Make that 0.
Interesting.
Miner says, yeah, you say last member. Let me hold my beer real quick.
Yeah, I want to see Miner and the other Slosher get up into their car. They do have the missiles ready to go. Don't laugh at me. They have the armor as well. There's one coming in from Choke on the side of Sayonara. Quickly getting the pick on Miner. This could be a cap for them. There's 2 down on the side of Midtown too. As Sayonara comes in and gets the clean picks. It is a 2v3 situation.
It is a 2v3 situation, and Zero's doing this fancy dancy movement. That's when you know Zero is locked in and in tournament mode. And when Zero's locked in tournament mode, there's very few things that can stop him.
Ooh, there they go, sharking that left side, watching that drop. Something has brought the zone neutral, though, so I would want to know what that is if I'm Sayonara. Bringing that around, we do see Sun on that right side with Jared. The 2 on the left lose their fight as Midtown comes in and gets that pick. That is a wipe in favor of Midtown. I want to see Miner take car. I want to see them take flat. I want to see them push up. Go, homie. Feed, win. Feed the win!
Feed the win. Feed the win. To Sayonara. Okay, yeah, they go down 0-2. Yeah, that's not... Sure. That sounds like a great idea. But as this... Oh, great missiles! Great missiles accuracy coming out from Miner. Able to get that kill on Zero, but now it's just going to be a complete wipe. Sayonara able to take that. Jared with that nice inkjet connections. But there isn't going to be anyone spawning, so those last couple shots aren't going to be finding anything but paint on the ground. As we do see Sayonara trying to go up. We see Q on this more aggressive position. I do like that spot from a charge because you get the good sight lines all the way straight down car. It is something from that on that box that not many weapons can really benefit from. But the charger is one, even though this is a terrible charger map.
I love that bomb rush too because of how much time that it bought off the clock. Like, it's not like I'm taking space with this bomb rush. I'm denying you taking space with this bomb rush. And for that reason, very clean pick. You dig it. You love to see it. Yeah, that just very good bomb rush from Q there. That's what I was getting at. As the last member of Midtown 2 is forced to jump out. Somebody get it. Ooh, very cheeky. You love this. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh.
I would have lost it again.
I would have hogged very aggressively.
Ooh,
yo, and then as we go for a Teo, and then the Charger playing support, cleaning up the zone, and getting the cap. Hey, yo, we stand. We stand, Q.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh yeah, we haven't seen Chargers too much lately, but like I'm going to say we are going to see a lot of Chargers coming.
Right?
It is my bold prediction because people are saying after the recent performances, crying, cringe, sad. but Heavy Splatling had some good performances. Ballpoint will be strong with how the map designs are. The general counter and the greatest counter to Splatlings will always be Charger, and if Splatlings are meta, unless they are broken beyond belief, like when the Nautilus and Ballpoint were broken.
We are going to experience another Ballpoint meta. I am calling it right here, right now. SOS 81 Grand Finals, quote me on this in a year and a half.
Yeah, but if Ballpoint becomes meta, Eeler becomes meta like a week later.
Here's the thing. Intensify action reduces Ballpoint's jump RNG to such a significant degree that two mains of Intensify action will turn that thing into a laser.
Where are you putting your run speed, Skep?
You don't need run speed if everyone's dead.
You don't need run speed on a Splatling. Excuse me, but do you play Splatlings?
No, I'm saying two mains of Intensify action and then make the rest run speed. Do what you want.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. That's good.
Yeah, like
we're putting lots of effort because we have Fizzy Bomb on that.
I'm so concerned, bro. I'm like actively concerned about Ballpoint. You
came in 2020, right?
Yeah. I didn't start playing
2019 when the Ballpoint could literally 3-shot you with its main weapon, like its long-range mode.
I could tell when somebody quit comp based off of how they play though. Is that a talent?
Yes. Oh, and we are going to be seeing. Oh, this is great. This is a best of 7. Awesome.
Yeah.
This is not match point. I was thinking match point. No, not match point. We're going to be seeing Miner over on that machine. Miner is a very talented slosher player who I do have to say I've had the honor to play against in multiple tournaments, and that machine I respectfully think it's one of NA's best.
Oh my goodness. Well, Q here trying to live against that machine, as I believe that is the Zap fights to take plat. Does shut down Q in a rather solid opening push, so this is looking pretty for Midtown here.
This is looking pretty good. That splashdown is going to be coming out. I thought he just fell through the map with spectator cam. The perfect swap. As we are going to be rolling through this first checkpoint. And that's going to be Miner trying to make their way back, not escorting the tower with their team, even though they only lost one member. Interesting decision, because now they've given up a lot of mid control. Do you have any answers for that one, Skip?
You know, I genuinely do not.
Okay, awesome, perfect. Then I will go back into commentating the neutral action then, as we have Z's. On this ends up having to dodge these inkjet shots. Sayonara starting their push, but they're trying to take out the sloshers. Get one. Ooh, Q does see the flank and has spotted that out. This checkpoint, though, will be taken out from Sayonara. Close. They just need 3 more.
Yeah.
One more.
Just a tap, homie. Someone get up there. No, you can't top it anymore. So they're gonna have to work on clear. No, they didn't get it because it has to get to 75. So still scrap for scrap on that first checkpoint. That is basically an even game, but the advantage going to Midtown here is they pop armor and start working their way up towards plat. This honestly is looking really good for them as a bat move.
This is, and Z's is gonna be caught out. Great job from Jared. Get not 1 but 2 with the help of Sun, and that is gonna be They're still actually going down in their backline.
No.
Somehow, some way, and that's gonna be both sloshers. Great job from Sun to take out Moon and to take out Miner. Who knows? There must be a Moon in that mine.
That is a delayed wipe in favor of Sayonara. They are going to be able to start working their way up here. They do have that inkjet and they have that armor out ready to go. We'll see if they're able to clear the first checkpoint, and they are. Now we are looking at an even mid game as that inkjet does come out, getting a pick with it, but not able to really help any teammates with it. So hopefully their landing isn't camped because there's someone coming around that left side.
It's camped, but a Fizzy Bomb is not a lethal killing bomb in a shot. That's the point of being lethal, I guess. But that bomb, Splat Bomb is, and Moon did just eat that one. Jared is always, I love watching Jared go aggressive, taking the space with the utmost confidence in their team to have their back at pretty much all times.
And they have that inkjet ready to go too with Q on that tower, barreling towards that second checkpoint. This inkjet is going to do just so much damage onto bats because it could just be so claustrophobic once there's ship going around everywhere. The second checkpoint has fallen as they continue to push up. This is where things do rather get snowball intensive, so this armor and these missiles are going to be huge in forcing the members of Midtown back. Jared trying to peek that right corner, trying to stall for this third and final checkpoint. 3 down on the side of Midtown. This is huge for them.
This is huge. And, oh, Jared keeps going, dodging that fizzy. And now with under 10, there's just the sloshers. Can the sloshers, how much work can they get done? Nothing. They're all in spawn. And that is going to be Sayonara going up on match, series, tournament, and honestly, Splatoon 2 point.
Splatoon 2.8, yo! Yeah, that was looking so comfortable for Midtown, honestly, but once Sayonara got up and were able to start getting onto Plat and Bats, it was just over because of the way that the specials were chained, the way the Inkjet and armor came out at the same time at second checkpoint, the way that the missiles and armor came out at the third checkpoint, and then the Inkjet subsequently and shortly after to stall out any sort of attempt at a defense from Midtown 2. Just fantastic play from them there. And Midtown 2, if they want to go out of this in a better fashion than 04, it is up to them on Rainmaker Sturgeon.
Yeah. I was just thinking back on Inkblot Tower Control. That just a Splatoon 2 thought. That was where EU beat NA for the first time. EU had never beaten NA. NA was looking to go back. SCDX was looking to go back and win their after winning the Worlds the first time. They were looking to go back and play against Japan. They didn't even get to play Japan again because Europe beat them on that map, which was one of the most legendary sets because that came down to like a 1-point overtime. I remember Kiver's pop off. That was.
I can't wait to have more pop off clips on Twitter.
There's just so many things that I'm seeing from all these maps. Luckily, like Sturgeon, Mako, Inkblot, they're coming back. Actually, the only map in our series that I'm looking at here...
well, we should keep the discussions to a minimum on Splatoon 3. Just because I don't... Yeah, I know it's tomorrow, and I'm so excited, and I agree with you, homie, but also...
Okay, we'll get back to the tournament. Rainmaker Sturgeon. This map could be over so quick.
I just don't want to spoil anything for anyone.
I wasn't going to spoil anything.
Oh, okay, go ahead then. I'm sorry.
I was just looking at the set. I know Inkblot's coming back. I know Sturgeon's coming back. But we didn't have Mako and Martin this set.
Yeah,
anyway. Okay, I do have to say, as much as I want this tournament to go on longer to commentate more, I want to see a good old-fashioned 100-0 real quick for the last Rainmaker match.
Oh my god, yeah, because there's no chat. Oh, sorry.
No,
because
that was literal. Anything in like any of the trailers, any of the directs, I say is fair game. Any of the leaks, no, that's not fair game. That is,
I'm being
beyond
careful,
not fair game.
I don't want to lose my job, but very quickly when going down the Rainmaker box.
Yeah, I'm calling Kraken. I know he's on a Greyhound bus going from where he is. Yo, are we gonna get it?
Oh, yo, are we gonna get it? Yo!
Give it to me! Give it! Oh, no.
Wait, they're gonna sleep around Sponge. There's one rotating through street. It is just Z and whoever the heck is on K-Shop behind them. Oh my goodness, the Bob's coming out. Rainbow there trying to help the Rainmaker. Does go down, unfortunately, with the missiles. I wanted it there too, I'm not gonna lie.
I was feeling it. Because it was like, we would have gotten a little bit longer set as well. You know.
Hugh here up on Spinner, applying pressure so the Rainmaker can work their way back up to mid. 45 is a beatable lead, depending on how you want to push it. But just a lot of kerfluffle here from those missiles. What are you laughing at, Genie?
I'm sorry. I know this is somebody... You never look at chat when you're commentating, but Lily just said the spoilers that brought back Ink. I'm done.
Wait, the spoilers what?
They brought back Ink.
Oh, man.
I can't. I'm done. As the Rainmaker is making their way downtown, Midtown, walking fast but not got shut down by Midtown, I guess. You know, that's how the song goes. That's how they wrote it. That's how the piano rolled. Oh,
okay.
Yep, we're on I'm on hour 16 here.
Listen, Midtown here is taking control of mid, and they're doing so very, very nicely. They have that burst bomb rush. That is good. I like that they have that. They unfortunately go 2 down in this exchange, so as the Rainmaker resets, so very quickly going to have to start playing defense, and there's already an Inkjet underneath their window.
Inkjet coming out with that Stingray. That's going to be good damage. Rainbolt is able to stay alive, has those missiles, popping them for the defense. The Rainmaker has been lost. Rainbolt has lost their life in trade, but Q's going to have to dodge those missiles. Not something a Charger always enjoys to do. Able to land some assist with their help of their teammates. And now this should be Sayonara's chance to really take a good crack at lead. Not much range on the side of Midtown. But how far can this Rainmaker go? They don't have any good positions for Q to really land any snipes. But that is a great pick. I believe that was from Jared getting 2. The Rainmakers start their way, moving quickly. But those bombs are coming out, slowing them down. So good. They do have that lead, and that's just going to be the zap. And the Rainmaker keeps going. They keep going. They're going to the pedestal. No checkpoints to have it to clear. Can Moon hold on? They held on. Q is trying to go for this Rainmaker. Don't have bomb rush. They're on a fire. They have Stingray, and they can't make the jump out all the way to 4.
That's a clutch up there, I'm not gonna lie. I was really concerned given that they were too near the fish and the Charger was there with the Ray. You know, that's like repop potential, but we can see very quickly here that Midtown getting the picks in mid that they need to in order to hold this. Q there on Spinner though, trying to put up some pressure in Fight Club. 1 coming around from behind Moon in order to try and apply some pressure, but Midtown here, they are going to get the repop. The question is, what do they do with the fish from here? Because they have a minute and a half to nearly KO.
Minute and a half to nearly KO is definitely actually enough time for Midtown, especially with those lethal. They've had a lot of lethal bombs on their team, so that should be good, especially if they are able to survive this Ray. Because as long as they get those missiles up, that gives them a really good opportunity that Q can't land any shots.
Especially
if they go left side here.
I'm concerned. I don't think left side is the play because you have Q from Street applying pressure on that left side. They have that Stingray. You can very clearly see that Sayonara's defense is organized around that left side. Midtown needs to be going right. They need to get the pick on this Rainmaker out of spawn. They go 1 down in the process, but they need to change their game plan because Sayonara's defense here is just too good on that left side.
You're right. Now that you speak of the Charger, that long sight line is actually quite good as long as they're in position. As Sun is trying to march this Rainmaker down, not able to. Miner able to stop it, but the Rainmaker, as long as Q can live for time, that is a long time. That is good. And dying with the Rainmaker in the enemy team's base isn't always a good thing, but when you have the lead of 4 and there's just about 20 seconds left, that is absolutely ideal.
And they're 1 down, and they have to 2 down, and they have to get the fish all the way from their own spawn towards a knockout. Are they going to be able to do it? We have 0 up in their window. That's such a defensive choke point there. As the bucket comes around and tries to get the pick, but does trade out. We can see that Z has the fish, goes down. That is it. That is GG's. That is the last set of SOS for Splatoon 2 going to Sayonara. Congratulations, gamers.
Absolutely, congratulations, and it couldn't have gone to some more talented people as well. But Midtown, they did a great job throughout the tournament. But oh my gosh, Sayonara just coming out 0, showing why 0 has been honestly a great way to end a Splatoon 2 career. 0, huge shoutouts, the highest X Power ranking player outside of Japan. That belongs to 0. And as much as it came with so much controversy at its time, we have to look back on it as a great time. And that 18K, even though that's not in the final tournament like that, that's not an achievement like that. That's still a nice little bow to put on an amazing Splatoon 2 career. And I'm so excited to see all these players, all the players that played in this tournament, and all the players that have played in past tournaments, to see them in Splatoon 3.
You know, Jeannie, thank you for closing out my Splatoon 2 commentary career with me.
Well, I hope we get to play, because we never get to play! We played 1 game. We literally played 1 game together, and it wasn't queue. It was solo queue, like, yesterday. We just ran into each other, and it was like, I got a message, a DM saying, hey, yo?
Rise and grind, baby!
You found me in my natural gaming apps. So.
Same. Thank you for being here for this very silly and totally professional SOS 81.
Yo, K-Bot coming in clutch. Sayonara won SOS 1 and 81.
Yo.
Mic drop. K-Bot, I love you.
K-Bot with the stats, bro.
Stats.
Okay. Then this is why we need statisticians in esports.
Took place September 9th, 2020. Ah! That's insane.
Crazy!
That's
oh my
crazy.
god.
Wait,
Well,
SOS started in the pandemic? Oh, cringe.
SOS Gen C Splatoon. I want to say, SOS was the first tournament I ever had the honor to commentate. I want to thank Grace so much for inviting me back to be on mic, given my inexperience, and I used to hate public speaking. I consider myself a socially inept person, but it's just has taught me so much about myself and about speaking and how to be genuine on the microphone, and I can't thank SOS enough. I also have a long list of all SOS staff that I personally would like to shout out, so Jeannie, is it alright if I close it on this note?
Yeah. I just want to say thank you to all the people that have, before I go, can I just say thank you to the people that helped me here?
Yeah, of course.
So I just want to say thank you to all the staff. I would like to say all the staff, but they're not online, so I don't want to miss anybody. But if you have a role here in the IPL thing, thank you for always helping out, putting on great tournaments every week, every tournament, every time, everyone, like anyone, even the people that watched, you make it all better for all of us. I get to come out here and speak, and I would like to give a little shout out to Kraken, who brought me in after we played on Ink, on different teams, but on the same clan, and brought me in here and brought me a home in NA, because I had been over in Europe, just gaming out there, and brought me a home over back in my native land of North America. But yeah, with that, I will let you close it out, Scap.
Okay. Thank you to everyone who's worked on SOS for a long 81 tournaments. You showing up on Wednesday nights and giving up your weeknights, or even the wee hours of the morning, via some of our unbelievable EU staff who put in the work and the hours. SOS has grown to fill such a underappreciated but incredible role in our community in terms of being the premier weekly, and it just couldn't be done without each and every one of you. Without further ado, here's the lovely list of SOS staff, current and former. You're just so appreciated. That's really what I could say. Astro, thank you for founding what would become SOS. Sky, you are just such a fantastic TO, and I hope one day you really see it. Kraken for always helping out, Toasty for being on production so many late nights, Tulip for teaching me how to staff, and Joker for always being effing hilarious. Sorry, I swore. Ant and Salty and Noodles, it's always lovely to work with you. It's just fantastic. Magic, our lovely social media manager, we stan. Reef and Wolf, we started staffing around the same time, and Wolf for being on stream tonight, never before streamed. Wolf, we see you, we stand, you are the unsung hero of SOS, and that is true fact. Vapor, it's always so fantastic when you stream, you're hilarious, and Garrett, thank you for making, if you wonder who makes the SOS graphics that end up on Twitter, that's Garrett and JPEG. Roundy, Cynthia, and Half, for doing our seeding every single week, and showing up and making sure that SOS runs smoothly in that way. Vincent, you know, for dropping into Mike, dropping into Staff VC and having those late night chit chats about what happened on SOS and putting in all those hours behind the scenes, like running the bots that we use for seeding and like literally Vincent is just not appreciated as much as they deserve because nothing at IPL would run without Vincent. Cater, you're such a lovely and fantastic commentator, such an incredible spirit. Yucky Ducky, I never got to work with you with SOS, but I heard wonderful things, so thank you. And Quark, I see you putting in the work and the hours, and oh my goodness, Stormy, you're just... I'll never forget running into you at LTC. We're both fellow SOS staff, and we fight in Staff VC all the time, but it's friendly, and it's awesome. Ose for putting in the art and making the emotes for Twitch chat, and Wug and Moo for helping us with seeding on occasion and, you know, communicating between orgs about who got what results and where. Kiera, once again, lovely stuff. You know, thank you for handling those match disputes. Inky, you know, you're just such a fantastic streamer. We stan Inky. Oh my god. You know, you mostly do low ink such, but you know, realistically, Inky does help out with SOS, and for a while there at the beginning of SOS was SOS's only streamer despite being EU, so we stan. Shads, I never get to commentate with you anymore, but I miss you. You know, Shads was one of the first people I got to commentate with SOS, and it's been lovely. Popgun, Raze, and Hohen for being a fantastic portion of IPL's leadership and dropping in to talk to us SOS staff and make sure that everything's headed in the right direction. And, you know, IPL is one giant family, and, you know, we don't live without each other, but last but not least, the person who invited me to be on mic for the first time, who trained me how to staff, my former teammates, Buttercup and Grace. I love you so much. I wish you the best in life in Splatoon 3, and let's look forward, not back as a community, knowing that we have built such a fantastic grassroots backbone for ourselves. Without further ado, Sayonara to Splatoon 2. Stay fresh, everyone.